welcome to the Hotkeys podcast. This is the show where we talk about everything pop culture and random in the world. I'm your host, Mick, and I'm joined by
Wil Dobratz,
Landon Browning,
and David Parker.
Hello, Dave.
Hey, Mick.
What's up, Dave? How's it going? What do you want to talk about today, Dave?
You know, I would love to
You want
talk
to talk about that it's 7-Eleven today?
Oh, yeah. This is the episode for the week of
National
July 11,
Slurpee Day.
a.k.a.
Wow.
7-Eleven, where you can go get like 4 ounces of slushy free after you wait in line for like 40 minutes with a ton of other,
Yeah.
Dave, I want to hear just your thoughts on this.
Thank you for joining the Parker podcast this
Thank
week.
We are rebranding to the Parker Privilege podcast. That sounds better.
Man. No,
Dave, what do you think?
that's just PPP.
Triple P?
Yeah.
PPP?
Triple P.
It's a what is that called? Anagram?
No,
It's
it's,
totally wrong. What is that called? Synonym?
Alliteration.
no, alliteration.
Alliteration. I knew it.
Synonym? Synonym is
Synonym
a
is
word that
the
is similar.
Cinnamon.
No, they're not
Cinnabon.
similar. They're the same. Similar
I love
means not
Cinnabon.
identical. So synonym is basically identical meanings and different words.
Yeah, I like the
Yes,
thing that has the thing with the
thing.
with the
Are you okay,
with the-
Michael?
with the letters that are the same.
Yeah, an alliteration like Peter Parker or
Bruce Bane.
Bruce Banner, Tony Tark.
Okay.
Wow.
They're quite
That
the
is interesting
superhero
though.
names.
That like most superheroes, I think, have that.
It's
Clark
common.
Kent.
Yeah.
Clark Kent.
it's
Peter
not Clark
Parker.
Kent's not alliteration though. It's CK.
But I mean, it still sounds.
But I
I'm counting.
don't think alliteration counts if
I'm
it
counting it.
sounds. I think it's just letters, right?
I'm counting it.
You're counting it.
Well, what if they had like Peter Fart and it was spelled with PH? Would that still count?
What?
Yeah, that's not an
Oh,
alliteration. I think
no.
alliteration is the
Smack
sound,
down.
Will.
I think it's
Yes,
it is the sound.
It is the sound.
I think so.
Okay.
I believe so.
I don't know because if you F and
In your
PH,
defense, you're arguing with someone that thought it was a cinnamon.
cinnamon roll.
It's okay. I'm just Google real quick. Says the occurrence of the same letter or sound. So it's both at the beginning
Oh
of
wow, we're
adjacent
both right.
or closely
Wow.
connected words. So they don't even need to be right next to each other. So alliteration, like "sweet bird sang," is technically an alliteration.
I don't like that.
I don't like this conversation.
We should change things.
Welcome to the grammar cast this week, everybody.
See, on the Parker.
This time we're talking
Privilege
about dangling
podcast,
participles.
we like to talk about grammar.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Don't split your infinitives,
That's
everybody.
That's an unsubscribe to me.
Conjunction. What?
Hey,
that?
is it drunk
It's
or is
what's
it
your
drank?
function,
That's the
not
correct
what's that
word.
function.
Join us
On the
next
Parker
week
Privilege
and find
podcast,
out.
we can say whatever we want.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So, what
Okay.
real topics do we have this week?
We have a couple things we could talk about. Did you guys hear about the NASA toilet competition?
No.
NASA,
Enlighten me.
NASA
Where-
toilet design.
Where do you get these topics from? Like, I swear, every other week it's like, have you heard about this?
That's why I'm in charge, Will.
Okay. All right. Fair
That's
enough.
why I'm running the show. So apparently, this is coming straight from the NASA website. This is dated June 25th, so it's a little old. As NASA prepares for our return to the moon, they need shelter, equipment, otherwise to support future astronauts that are underway. These astronauts will be eating and drinking and subsequently urinating and defecating. in microgravity and lunar gravity, while astronauts in the cabin are in the cabin and out of their what am I saying? While astronauts are in the cabin and out of their spacesuits, they will need a toilet that has the same capabilities as the one on Earth. NASA is calling on the global community for their novel design concepts for compact toilet that can operate in both microgravity and lunar gravity. These designs may be adapted for the use in the Artemis lunar landers that take us back to the moon. Although space toilets already exist, they are in use. They are designed for microgravity only. NASA's
Wait,
human
what's
landing.
the difference between microgravity
I
and
have
the
no
other
idea.
and
I'm
lunar?
not an astronaut. I don't know. I'm just reading something. NASA's human landing system program is looking for a next generation device that is smaller, more efficient, and capable of working in both microgravity and lunar gravity. I'm assuming microgravity is probably like
Is that space?
Orbit-
like
orbit
no
gravity? It's
gravity?
small gravity.
And then
And
lunar
then-
gravity is
and then lunar gravity is
On the
probably the
moon.
moon gravity. Lunar means moon.
So like a hose?
so-
Is that what we're
So
thinking?
are they just?
So
Are they just admitting that they can't make a toilet
This challenge,
themselves?
this challenge includes a
Crowdfunding?
technical category and a junior category.
Oh.
So the award
Is
for
there a
the
comedy
technical-
category? Like
So the award for it's a comedy and
Best in show.
musical.
And the award goes to
The award for the technical
Michael.
is 35,000 in total prizes.
Wow.
Not enough.
That's
Okay,
it?
in total prize.
Junior public recognition from NASA and from Hero X, a winner's certificate and an
a
item
Subway
of.
gift card.
Yeah.
Free
It-
6-inch
it only worked with
purchase
the
of
$5
drink and
so,
chips.
with the $5 footlongs. And an item of official NASA logoed merchandise.
Those are weak
Wow.
prizes. Weak, very weak.
I mean, I
So,
would take 35
For
grand.
making a toilet, you get 35 grand.
Yeah,
A space toilet.
if I develop a super crapper, I feel like that it should warrant more than just
It should
35.
go. It should
grand.
go
You get
down
to
in
poop
history. It
in
should go down in. It
space.
should go down in history, right? Like this
As
is
the
more
most,
than
like-
just a $35,000 toilet. You know, this is a zero gravity toilet.
Well, and who's to say they'll actually use any of these designs?
Well,
You know, because you would
yeah.
think that NASA is smart enough to
Well,
make
that's what I'm
their
saying,
own.
like-
I don't understand why don't they just make their own?
I mean, you basically just take
Well,
a vacuum cleaner and hook it to like a funnel.
But then it sucks your insides out.
nah.
It's not like
No, they teach you
that
like
type power.
sphincter integrity to like
Whoa.
keep it so that you like reduce the
It's a kid
hemorrhoids.
show.
Oh, Dave, yeah.
Kid show.
Delete
Dave,
that.
Dave, come on.
Wow. That was my ears are bleeding.
You're
from-
getting into a category that we don't want to get into, and
Well,
that's adult entertainment.
Can't they just use whatever the
Whoa.
International Space
Hey-o.
Station uses right now?
What?
Because
Say that again?
can't they just use what the International Space Station uses? Wouldn't that just be the same as?
Dave,
Mic-
it's not suitable
microgravity
for
emissions?
lunar gravity.
I think with Trump alienating every single other country in the world, I think that like the International Space Station won't allow Trump to use
Won't
any
allow-
toilets.
We have to develop our own. We have to get it from our public.
Yeah,
Anyway, you guys want to start designing a toilet?
I guess.
I mean,
But then
I
we
don't
have
know.
to
For
split them.
$35,000,
Let's just go
that's
buy
less
a
than
toilet
year's-
from Lowe's and just send it to NASA.
you win the first place prize.
with like one of those vacuum attachments that has like the bristles on the end. You know.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah,
telescopic.
the telescopic one too. You know.
we need to make sure we send some cleaning bubbles too. You know,
It's like that
So let's put it in
on
the toilet,
TV
yeah.
on TV product that it's like the
As seen on
extended
TV.
arm reach wiping
the-
assistant thing.
Yeah, the butt wiping one.
No. Oh no.
It's a big man.
Djibouti dubs, everybody.
Okay.
Oh my.
Oh man.
oh man.
Anyway, I thought that was interesting. It was an interesting article.
Yeah, quite fascinating.
Quite
I hope.
fascinating.
Sometime in the future, maybe I'll do that.
Well, you better hurry. I mean, it's probably already. They probably
Pick the winner.
solved
already.
this crisis.
No way.
Because when are we sending people back to the moon? When is that happening? Why are we going back there? There's nothing there.
No, there's so much dust and rocks.
The
you know,
the
think of all
Transformers
the-
are on there, aren't they?
The dark side of the moon. Man.
I thought you hadn't seen the Transformers.
I
movie.
haven't, but I know that that's one of the movies. Isn't it?
Yeah, and dinosaurs are there too,
I think
right?
that's
With
the
with Mark
third movie,
Wahlberg.
isn't it?
That's the third movie's done. Well, it goes Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers, Dark Side of the Moon, Transformers, Age of Extinction, Transformers, The Last Night, I think.
And then Bumblebee.
Sure.
Oh, then Bumblebee, yeah.
Did you guys see Bumblebee?
I haven't seen any.
I heard it was good. I heard it
And-
was good.
And relative to the other movies.
No. I heard it was generally pretty decent.
John Cena's in it.
Oh, then it's a masterpiece.
I guess a lot of people just didn't get it. I guess.
Shut up. You're a disgrace.
Me?
You're a disgrace.
Nah, you're a disgrace.
Oh, good comeback.
I'm just gonna repeat everything Landon, every insult Landon, just back to him.
I don't think that's a good idea.
This is gonna go well. It has a Metacritic score of
You're not gonna
66
go well.
66.
That's pretty decent.
out of 1,000.
Out of 100. That's pretty decent.
That's not, yeah. That's not
I
bad.
told you guys. Like,
Okay, calm down. We're all friends here.
So the numbers, that's all that matters, Will, is like the general consensus.
What was
the
about
numbers mean.
What's the
What do they
Metacritic?
mean?
What's the Metacritic for Last of Us 2?
It's 95.
So it must be a good game, right?
I mean,
If Bumblebee
it's
at
pretty
66 is good,
It's pretty good.
Last of Us 2
Is
has to be
95
incredible
bigger than
masterpiece.
60? Yeah. The math checks out.
I never said that I was all
Well,
about
if
the
you
numbers.
if you hold your phone upside down, it
I
turns into a
never
99.
said it was
so
all about
that's
the
actually
numbers.
better.
I never said it was all about the numbers. Never said it was all about.
It was implied though.
No.
Yes.
No.
So, all right, like Dave's kind of brought it up. Last of Us Part 2. Mick, Will, and myself have all beaten it, and Dave is.
I bought it.
making his way.
Because last week I didn't
Last
own the
week's peer
game,
pressure,
and
peer
I
pressure.
gave in to peer pressure and I purchased the game, and
Apparently, you said it in Discord, and I didn't see. So
I just want to say I am actually really proud of you for buying it. Like, just the fact that, like,
that's so sad that has to be said.
I know,
because
but, like,
it's
it's true, right?
It's true.
Like,
It's absolutely true.
Yeah, Dave. I'm gonna
Like
have to
Dave,
agree with the majority on
what's
this
wrong
one.
with you?
Like your unwillingness to buy like a $60 game is just I don't know.
Well, how do you feel about the rumors that the PS5 games will be $70?
Oh, I hadn't heard that rumor before.
yeah, I feel like
I said it in Discord. You didn't look at the Discord chat?
Did you send that? Did you let us know about that?
It is confirmed, pretty sure.
What? Sorry, what?
the $70. Like, I think it's going to be everything.
I think so.
Yeah, and then
But what
probably
will the Switch
the
games
deluxe
be?
editions they'll just bundle in if deluxe edition for PS4 free PS5 upgrade when it comes out or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of because
Yeah.
NBA 2K21 is already doing that. It's like if you get the Kobe Bryant edition or whatever, you get like a
RIP.
free PS5 edition of the game rather than pay like a $10 upgrade.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess. But I mean, every once in a while, you expect that they're going to raise the prices of console games. Was it
And it's been a long
2006,
time.
It's been
2005 that
60.
they went up
Yeah,
to
it's been-
60?
Wait, what were the PS2 games?
Those were
50,
$50 bucks, but the 360 came out in 2005, and those were $60 games, and same with PS3.
Weren't
It was
GameCube games
2006.
40? I thought GameCube games were 40.
I never bought a GameCube game. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I never owned a GameCube.
Dang, dude, you missed out.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. There's some good-
But where was he
did,
going?
like,
Where
single thing
else?
Landon says to me
where-
this morning is antagonistic.
Where
you play
else
The
would he
Last
play
of Us Part
Super
2 on
Mario
GameCube? I don't
Sunshine?
think
You'd have to have like 10 discs to get all the data on there.
It's like Final Fantasy, but on steroids.
Oh
You know how
my
they have like
gosh.
4 discs.
Will,
man.
Will, besides Smash Bros. Melee, what is your favorite? Okay, no, besides Smash Bros. Melee and Wind Waker, what is your favorite GameCube game?
I would say Luigi's Mansion and Super Mario Sunshine are both up there. I really
Sunshine, the one where
enjoy
you have the hose.
The flood?
backpack. Yeah, and
That's
then
weird.
Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is really really fun. I
You
love
just
that
listed
game.
every GameCube game.
Just kidding.
Lannon's
I
a
will say-
Nintendo hater. Will that continue later today when we get to our?
Well, no, speaking of Nintendo,
trivia
I
session?
hope, I hope your quiz is pretty good.
Well, Dave, our childhood friends in Hawaii, they had a GameCube, and I remember playing the.
Animal Crossing.
I couldn't get into that, but
Oh, I
we
liked
played. We played the James Bond game.
Hmm.
I don't remember which one it was.
Oh gosh, was it Night something? There was a
Nightfire?
couple of them.
Nightfire.
I think it was
Nightfire
Nightfire.
is really fun.
Yeah, we had friends that had a GameCube, so we'd go play like Nintendo games over there, and then we had a next door neighbor that had a PlayStation 2, and then we'd play like all the adult games there.
And then we
Grand
had a
Theft Auto.
PC, so we could play all the homeschool educational learning games at our own house.
Oregon Trail.
Is there? Did you guys
Jumpstart,
have the one
fourth
like,
grade?
the blue or purple little things that you had to organize? I don't know if that sounds familiar.
Wait, what?
What are
But
you,
There's like-
what are you talking
I
about?
remember playing in elementary school. There was this PC educational game where you had to like organize these blue little. It was quite popular at the time.
Well,
Blue
see,
or
Dave and I were
purple.
homeschooled, so our educational games on the PC were like Jumpstart.
Math Blaster?
Yep.
Jesus Christ does math.
Yeah, basically.
You guys
Yeah.
ever play Spy Fox?
No, but I had what was it? Clue Finders?
Oh, dude, Clue
Oh yeah,
Finders?
Clue Finders.
Oh, dude, my brain, like, dude, you just like triggered something. Like, I'm just looking in. Oh my god, no! Oh god, it's coming back.
Dave, what was the?
I've forgotten about Clue Finders.
What was the?
No. Oh god. It hurt.
Landon's
What
dead.
was the like ice typing game?
Oh gosh, I forgot
It
what
was
it's
like
called.
some Eskimo guy.
Yeah, it
Eskimo
was.
guy like helping you find letters or something.
I'll look it up because I have a list of. Okay, so I like lists. I
Wait,
don't know
you
if you
have a
guys know
list?
this.
What?
Ah,
No.
I know it's crazy, but one thing I've tried to do is compile the list of every single video game I've ever played, every single movie I've ever seen, and every single TV show I've ever seen. And every few years, I will like update it and add another couple hundred things to the list. Mostly it's movies and stuff because like
Oh my gosh.
I'll go back and find things. Video games, I am pretty up to date on, except for like more recent games because I haven't gone back and played a lot of new games. So I have that game on the list, Mick. I will find it for you and I will tell you what it is
I
later.
forgot what it's called, but I have distinct memories of playing it and like watching like mom and dad play it.
It was fun. Yeah, there's something about like older
Crappy
PC,
old
yeah,
PC.
old PC games that were fun.
Well,
especially
and with like the Indiana Jones point and click. Oh,
the Atlantis.
Like Search for Atlantis or
Yeah,
something.
something like
Point-and-click
that.
games were super popular on PC, right? Back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, adventure
I mean, I
games
could-
or Sierra games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like
LucasArts
what was
adventure games.
like Grim Fandango? Was that one?
Mhm. Yeah, Grim. Yeah, all of those.
Fandango,
Tim, what's his name?
Sam and Max.
Didn't we also play a Monty Python?
Oh yeah, there was a
game?
Monty Python PC game too.
Do you remember that one level where you're like a chicken with a
Chicken
man's
jumping
head
on the-
and you have to jump off the conveyor belt,
And
or you
you
get
just
like
get stuck on spikes in your
impaled
head.
and-
Yeah, it was a violent little game that like little
yeah, it was like,
like
probably
5
probably
and
something
7-year-old us would
5
play.
and 7-year-old shouldn't play.
An overlook by Papa Parker.
He was like, "Hey,
Yo,
I
he was
got this
there."
level to show you." Yeah. You see, you're this chicken with a man's head, and you don't want to get impaled on the spikes.
I'm still just dealing with Clue Finder.
Landon over here, like
Man,
having
I
PTSD
played.
flashback.
Yeah, I played the crap out of Clue Finders.
I think the only one I played was 4th grade, which was Egypt. And you know, I was a little kid that loved ancient Egypt stuff, so that was a fun one for me.
Do you not anymore?
Oh, I still like
Because we were pretty big into
history
Egypt.
stuff. Yeah, I liked ancient history, especially Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Those were some of my favorites. So next week I'll do one. I'll do ancient history trivia, which everyone, of course, will love.
All right.
I think I'm just gonna sit out next
During
week.
the Phoenician War, 433.
See, this is when it backfires that it's a Parker Privilege podcast,
Yeah.
and then
The fans
then it's just
outcry.
Dave and I, and Dave's
And Dave's just blabbering on something you don't care about.
Sorry, Dave and me. Correct myself.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Last of Us Part 2. Like.
Oh yeah, right.
We'll probably do a spoiler cast next week. Might go deep dive into the game, like 2-hour conversation.
That's up to
probably.
Dave and me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, Michael, what are your thoughts? Just spoiler-free thoughts.
I like the game. I think people should play it, especially if you played the first game. I had my issues with it. It didn't take away from the overall enjoyment. Oh man, excuse me.
Mick's tearing up, man.
From,
You know.
from the overall enjoyment of the game, I like the first one better. I think I scored the first one like a 9, and I scored the second one. I want to say like 6.5, 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think
also give it a 7. I think.
like in terms of like the actual feel of the game, it feels a lot better than the first one. I just they really honed in on the mechanics of it.
If you like the Uncharted games, you're gonna like the feel of this one so much more because this one feels way more close to Uncharted.
I don't know. I would disagree. I mean, I see what you're saying, but the characters are a lot heavier.
It's
because
somewhere between like Uncharted 4 and Last of Us. Like it's not quite as weighty as The Last of Us.
Right, but would it be accurate in saying that it's more close to Uncharted?
More close
Or
Closer.
closer. It's closer to feeling like Uncharted than feeling like than before. Like
yeah, I would say so. Like
if on a spectrum you had Last of Us Uncharted, it's moving closer to Uncharted.
yeah.
Okay.
Is
that
Last
was
of
just
Us
what I was
on the
trying to say.
spectrum?
Yeah.
Well, I went from playing the first Last of
Second one
Us,
is.
and then I played through the first 3 Uncharted games, and it just felt like really zippy cameras and zippy character controlling the character. It felt really weird, and like in both of the Last of Us games, I like pretty much cranked up the camera sensitivity because it was so slow to turn.
I brought the sensitivity down. I like when I play games, I always try to have the sensitivity as about as low as possible. High
I used to
sensitivity
do that,
like
and
weirds
then
me out.
I realized that I was just getting killed like so many times in Call of Duty because I couldn't turn fast enough, and so I have the sensitivity pretty much up all the way. And
That's crazy.
Dang.
It takes a while to get used to though, because I mean, you like overturn like.
Do you have
so
the
many
thumb
times.
extenders though on the analog sticks too?
I don't. I took those off
You took those
because they
off?
were hurting my thumbs. I have short thumbs.
Getting arthritis in the thumbs from gaming.
Yeah, I have short thumbs, so I had a hard time reaching them.
Okay.
Gosh.
So Dave, you're currently like, I don't know,
Partway through the game.
partway through
Yeah.
the game.
Partway through the game.
What I've learned from you guys, because before we were talking, we talked a little. Or before we started recording, we started talking about the game. What I've learned is that I've missed every single collectible that's cool or important. Apparently, there are these trading cards and coins in the game. Haven't found a single one of those.
Wait, what?
No, I'm joking.
Okay, I was like, what the heck?
That would be sad.
That's the thing,
actually.
though. Like, are there 50 coins in the game? Is there one for each state? Because that's kind of what I've been using as gauging how far I am. With,
I think there
with
might
this
be.
portion of the game.
I missed
Gosh,
a lot.
Well,
I have
there's-
so much.
It's super easy to miss coins.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like-
well, it's easy to miss the
Because they're
cards
so
too.
small.
Yeah.
Well, I went through. You can like collectible track once you're done with the game. You can look by like chapter and stuff. And
Oh, can you go back chapter to chapter then?
I
Yeah.
believe you can.
Oh.
Chapter select and encounter select.
I think
Oh,
you can do that in
nice.
all the Uncharted games too.
Yeah.
But
So,
but I don't think you can get collectibles that way per trophies. I don't think that.
Yeah, you can in this.
Yeah, you can.
in
What?
this game. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can hop around and finish what you need.
All
to.
right, time to go back into some Uncharted
Why do
games
you-
after I'm done with Last of Us. Because getting collectibles in those games, are kind of, at least in your initial playthrough, I guess, is really a pain. But I've only played any of those games once. I've never gotten back to them.
It's like, do you really want to stop and look around the same area for 15 minutes trying to see if you've like finished
See,
the entire area or not?
I'm actually
That's
really
what I do.
diligent like that in these games. I search every nook that I think I find, and I try to find nooks and stuff too. So like I know that I have missed some things, but when I hear that I missed something as big as what you guys were talking about earlier, I'm like, I have no idea where it could be because I feel like I'm very diligent with searching every area. Because some of these places are hard and they're like pretty hidden, and you have to get to them. And so I've felt like I've got pretty good at knowing where to go and how to find these things. But I guess
I
I'm
don't think
bad
you're
at the
bad. I think
game.
that's more of a testament of how much stuff is in the game. Because like I was very diligent too, and then when I went back and checked the overall, I missed like dozens and dozens of items. Like
Well, there's so many like little like nooks and crannies in each like section of a map.
Yeah.
And
not
it's so hard to at least put up with the time and effort it takes to actually
especially because you
like,
want to progress
look
the story
every-
too.
right,
Like,
yeah,
you want to find all the
exactly.
cool stuff. Like I like the journal, like all the. I love the environmental storytelling with like the journal entries you find, or like the horrific notes that you
I
find.
think the journal entries are key to understanding like a lot of the
The-
context of the story.
I'm bummed about the journal entry because like there is one I missed, and because you have like a blank section of your journal. But I have everything else so far up to where I am in the game right now. But like clearly at one point in the game I missed a journal entry, and so that like has really made me upset with how far I am into the game.
I definitely missed a safe.
I missed
Because
one. safe.
I got a code and I didn't know where the safe was or anything, and I just
have
moved on.
I have a different issue where I have trouble
Finding
finding
the code.
some of the code sometimes, but you can just do it by sound.
Can you?
Safes.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I didn't
can.
know that.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
I've had I think 2 safes that I couldn't find the combo for, so I just did it by sound.
That's one thing that's really cool about the game. It just goes into, again, the amount of detail that
detail
Naughty
is
Dog
insane.
puts into it, where, you'll have a safe or a safe code that you find on a piece of paper that's like, hey, it's, I stashed all of our stuff in here. We're still using the same code. It's, your birthday or whatever. And then somewhere in the building is like a calendar on a
yeah,
wall that you have to like actually look at and like see like a circled date for a birthday.
Yeah.
Or like one early in the game, you're like in a bathroom or something, and you find a piece of paper with the same thing, and it's like, oh, it's my phone number,
And then on the
and-
bathroom stall.
and it's like the paper's like ripped or burnt or something, so it's not all the way on there. But then you like go into the bathroom stall and you see like written on the wall like, hey, for a good time, or or whatever.
Call
like call this
Stacy at
number.
blah blah blah.
Yeah, and there's the full. So stuff like that is just really cool. Like it actually feels like you're earning a way into a safe instead of just like getting a piece of paper and then it
or you
unlocks
found the
already.
key, like in
Because in the
random
first game,
drawer.
don't you just like
You shivs.
find the paper and then you just go up to the safe and it opens?
I
Mhm.
think
Oh.
so. Or
Yeah.
you use shivs to unlock doors and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
use the
all-
shifts for
yeah,
doors,
that's
but
all
then
it-
there's in the first game there's not that many safes in the first game, but you'll get to it and it says like need combo. You can't even try it. You have to find the slip. But those I don't think there were many in the first. I mean, the first game was much shorter than the second game, so
Yeah.
that
A lot shorter.
So do you like the length of it so far, Dave, or do you think it's going on too long?
I mean, I'm fine. I was just expecting it to be shorter. So once I got to I'm not going to spoil anything, but you kind of get to a point in the game where you're like, oh, I'm at least not halfway done with this game. And so it's it was just, it's much longer than I was expecting, especially since I had just played the first game, and the first game is not that long.
No, it's probably like a 10-hour game at most.
10 to 15.
10 to
I would
15.
think.
Yeah.
Depending on difficulty and like how like detailed you search for stuff.
Right. Yeah. That really adds to the amount of gameplay.
I think you can blow through the game rather quickly if you just kind of
I think so.
run
If you
through all
just
the
go
areas.
straight through. Yeah.
I just love finding I love in both games, I already said it, but like just the papers you find with the notes, like you've almost follow these mini stories of different people.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
good-
it kind
good
of
world building.
reminds me of the Portal games, where you find like little pieces of information on like written on walls, and you can like piece together the actual story that's happening in the background.
Yeah, I really like when games do that. In Portal, it's great too, because you as a character don't speak. What's her name? I forgot. Chell.
Chell.
Yeah, and so you have Gladys and stuff, and all these other people that like you interact with, or Wheatley in the second game. Wheatley.
Did you hear why she never talks? The reason?
Mm-mm.
Apparently, it's because she's she doesn't want to give Gladys, is that her? GLaDOS this like satisfaction that she's getting to her. So she
I need to
like
play those
keeps her
games.
mouth shut. All the time.
If you have not played those, you should absolutely play them. The
I have
first
them
game
both, I
is
think.
so quick. The first game you'll play in maybe 5 hours, and the second game is this is kind of like The Last of Us, where it's like if you just play the first game and go to the second game, it's much longer, but it's still not that long of a game. The second game is really good. I think it does have one of the most like lasting stories in a video game, that especially one that you're not expecting, because the gameplay is, I mean, when you boil it down, it's kind of just a puzzle game, but it's a really, really good puzzle game with amazing puzzles, really fun characters. The great thing about Portal 2 as well is that there is a co-op mode where it's a completely different
co-op.
Yeah, where there's a completely different story where you play as Atlas and Peabody, these two robots, which is it's much lighter.
That's not alliteration.
Yeah, it's lighter than the single player game, but it's a really fun experience. I played through it with Jesse years ago when the game came out, and it's a really fun experience, and it's a great game, especially if you've played the single player game or the first game.
I think the puzzles.
Yeah, if you have not played those, absolutely, that should be like next on your list of games to play.
Okay.
I've only played the co-op a little bit, but some of the puzzles already are one of my favorite, like, and the most challenging puzzles I've come across. Like, because I played it with Oliver back in the day, and we didn't ever beat it. Because I think Portal came to the Xbox.
After,
I think
20 minutes. Or...
I think
Yeah, it was on
Portal
Xbox. The first game was also in the orange box, which was on PS3 as well. But the Portal 2.
Wait, the orange box was PS3?
It was on PS3. It came out later than it did on 360. But
wait, what all games were in that?
Team Fortress 2,
Half-Life,
Portal, I think Half-Life, and then maybe Half-Life 2, and then some of the episodes of those. I'd have to check again, but no, Left 4 Dead is not. Left 4 Dead is not. It still
bothers me that Left 4 Dead was never on PlayStation. Man, those games are so much fun. That was like the best cooperative like multiplayer experience I've ever had.
It's still on the computer. You can easily play it on the computer with friends.
I don't have a PC though.
Get a computer.
I don't want to get a PC.
But you want to play Left 4 Dead? You said it's the best experience you've ever.
Yeah, but no one else would play.
If we all
I would have it. Landon could play it.
If we all get PCs, like
Will
be.
Plans on getting a PC in the next year.
honestly rather just get the new Xbox that comes out because it'll be cheaper.
What? No, what is?
I don't know.
Well, the PC is better. Is
PC
more
is much more
useful
versatile. Yeah.
and versatile.
Yeah, but I'm dumb, so I don't know.
No, you're not dumb.
You can always learn. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna learn how to all
learn
this
new things.
crazy
Will.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you can help Will build his computer, and then with the knowledge you gain from that, you can just go buy one. You don't have to build one yourself.
I don't know. I want Michael helping me.
No, not helping you build it, but just him.
I saw a picture of a guy who built his own PC, but he built it out of cardboard. It was like all the like internal guts of a PC, but then
so here's the motherboard, but it's just a piece of cardboard with like little cardboard pieces sticking out, and here's the CPU and blah.
It was really funny.
Well, hey Landon, if you have Portal 2 on PC, then I would play with you the co-op mode after you play single player.
Okay, maybe I'll do that. I'm just kidding.
Well,
I need to try. I'm trying to.
You know, it's, if you know, if you don't want that, that's fine. Like it's good.
No,
you know, like,
that would be really cool, Dave.
Just miss out on a great experience in gaming. That that's no.
No. I want to. I'm trying to play through God of War right now, but I'm really struggling to get into it.
Oh, is it just hard to like hook you, or is it a hard?
Yeah,
like,
just like the story so far hasn't hooked me, which I know it's supposed to be good.
I had that same problem with God of War 3. Oh. And I mean, I jumped into it on 3. I didn't play any of the others, but I heard 3 was really good, and I tried, and I couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was.
It's also my same problem with Witcher 3, because it just can't click for me.
I feel like that had such a good hook from the start. And
Dave, are you still sending that to me?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I keep.
Dave's the master at promising you gifts. And
Wait, what are you talking about? Why would I? No, I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
Dave's like, I'd have to part with one of my possessions. What do I get?
Dave loses control over Witcher 3 as soon as he sends it to
okay, do you want a spoiler?
For what?
Do you want a spoiler?
For what?
For what?
Just say yes or
no. Wait.
No.
What's off screen?
What?
What are you reaching for?
No, nothing. I'm not reaching for anything. No, I sent it to you on Tuesday. I sent it to you on Tuesday.
That's spoilers, jeez.
You're supposed to get it today or tomorrow.
It probably won't come today.
Saturday. They deliver post on Saturday, just not usually Sunday.
Post? What are you, British?
Post. They delivered the mail on Saturdays.
No post on Sundays.
It's the post
any
office.
parcels? Are there any parcels here?
Is it going to be delivered by owl or something? Oh, man.
You remember all.
I can't remember what I've forgotten.
Are you Ringo?
Yes, that is. I'm the leader of the Beatles. Okay.
Pretty soon, I'm going to be the only one alive. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
man, geez, what
wow.
Yeah, like,
wow,
come on,
bro.
man.
Wow.
So Mick gives Last of Us Part 2 a 6.5. Will gave it a 1 out of 10.
I'd give it a 7.
I would say 6.5 reaching towards 7.
I'd say 7.
So 6.55.
It's weird because it's the first game that has challenged me in that I didn't necessarily enjoy playing it all the time, but I still think it's a great game in some aspects. It's kind of weird.
It's a 10 out of 10, baby.
Oh
Let's go.
gosh.
It's a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece.
Because I just didn't get it, right, Landon?
You just didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
I'm enjoying the game, but when I started up, it says Beyond Two Souls. Like, is that like a red flag, or that's the right game, right?
Yeah.
Is that with Ellen Page and William Dafoe?
Oh no, the Ellen Page game that she kind of got upset about because of how much Ellie looked like.
Not to mention her name is Ellie.
Ellen Page.
So close.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Ellen Page, Umbrella Academy Season 2 comes out at the end of the month.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited for that.
I haven't seen the first season.
Will, do you not watch TV? What do you watch, Will, or do you not watch things? Do you just play games instead?
What
do you watch?
Right now, I'm going through Star Trek with my dad.
Which one?
So Star Trek: The Next Generation. So we're going through like
first episode's terrible.
Well, we're going through character arcs. So we just went through Wesley Crusher's character arc.
Okay.
And so we've been watching his episodes, and I think next we might do Data. We're either going to do Data.
Okay, so but you're watching that with your dad. Do you watch shows like by yourself? Like, do you have like
sometimes
like the Umbrella Academy or?
I mean, I tried to get into Mad Men, but I think
that's Dave's favorite show of all time.
Yeah,
mine too.
And that I really want to get back into it, but it's just I do like playing video games more than I do like watching TV shows.
That's
so
fair.
when and I do like reading. I
don't agree with that, but
I like reading more than I like watching TV shows.
Okay.
So
that's also fair.
Who reads anymore?
So it's like my third choice for what I do with my time.
That's fair.
But I really do want to reach out and be more balanced with what media I consume. But it's hard when I'm like I have a bunch of games I want to play that I already own, and I also have a bunch of books I want to read that I already own. So
that is my struggle in life, Will, is the backlog of media, like, and then having multiple type, like you were saying, books, books, TV shows, movies, and then like trying to prioritize how you want to consume them, because you can really only do one at a time.
Yeah.
It sucks.
You can't read and watch TV at the same time?
You can. Yeah. Why would you do that?
That's how I do all my reading.
So I realized that I've started to get a gap in my 2 front teeth.
Oh, what?
Like I'm turning into
Me.
Smile.
Michael.
That's
Michael
nothing.
Strahan?
It's not as bad as me.
Michael Strahan. I mean, it's compared to what it used to be, which I don't know how it changed. I think it changed after I got my wisdom teeth taken out.
A little bit more room.
Yeah, I think they were like, oh, a little more elbow
I don't think
room.
it's hardly noticeable.
From you maybe, but from me, the way I notice it is sometimes I'll yawn really big and
Will you whistle? Or like your mustache gets stuck
No.
in your...
the inside of my upper lip gets stuck in
Oh.
between my 2 front
Oh,
teeth.
God.
Oh no!
It's so uncomfortable, like, and it's like I like panic because it gets stuck in there for a little bit. And I'm like, oh, and I have to like relax my upper lip, like for like the fleshy part to like slowly ooze back out.
Ew, oh.
It hurts. It's so uncomfortable though. And then like for like 10 minutes after that, like I can feel like the like molded part that in my teeth on my side of my lip.
Shoot, man, what are you gonna do about that?
I need to fill in the gap. Get some
Putty? Some just
grout.
like... Yeah, some grout. Some spackle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then you just look like a cartoon character with just like one just giant tooth.
I'd be down with that. You don't
It'd be
have any,
easier. Like
any bacteria between the teeth.
yeah, because that's how you get cavities is when you have spaces. So if there's nothing there, then where are you gonna get the cavities?
Yep. Plus, it'd be easier to brush, right?
I guess so.
Anyway, do you guys deal with it?
I don't have a
Look
gap.
at my
but-
teeth, Michael. Look at my teeth.
Does it happen to you?
Oh, it doesn't. Lip ever doesn't get stuck, but
Not
I
yet.
guess I'm alone on this.
When you're Michael's
I
age,
chipped
then
my-
you'll deal with the same
well,
hardships,
when you
right?
reach the age of
I chipped one of my front teeth the other week.
Wait,
Oh,
really?
I did the
How?
same thing.
I don't know. I don't know what did it, but then like later, I was like, whenever like I noticed, I was like, I'm like, oh man, my front tooth is kind of sharp. And
I
looked
did
and I'm
come
like, oh, it's a
over-
little small.
I did come over. Like, when did you say it happened?
I don't know, like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I
probably.
came over a couple weeks ago, and I just punched you in the face when you were sleeping. That could have been.
I mean, did you bite down like on a fork super hard like me?
Oh, I hate that. Oh,
Did that
that's so
today. I was having waffles today for breakfast, and I bit on the fork. Not fun.
I'm glad it's really ill, but this was like super soft French toast, so it went right through the French toast,
Ah,
and I just bit on the fork,
bad.
on the edge of the fork too, so it just went clink, and then now there's a
Stop.
super short. Okay.
I hate that feeling. Man, that sucks. No, I chipped my front teeth wakeboarding. I just face planted really hard. Oof. And it's weird. Like, yeah, you get that like sharp feeling.
but water is
And,
soft. How can it hurt you?
Well, you see, Dave, when you're going faster than normal,
It's a little faster than light.
water can turn into cement really quickly.
I remember like the worst feeling. Like it just reminds me water cement. I once got stuck between a tube and the water just when the tube flipped over and it pancaked me between water. And,
Wait, while you were like being towed?
yeah. So like I was
Why didn't you
like,
just let go?
Like,
Why
well,
didn't you
I was
just let-
bumping.
He was
I
tied onto
I
it.
was bumping and bopping on the waves. Okay, so I was up and down, and no, I let go as soon as I hit the thing.
Oh,
Obviously,
okay.
I wasn't. Who holds on? Like who's able to
That's
hold
what I
on?
thought you were saying. That's what it sounded
I
like
hit
you were
a
saying.
huge jump. I hit a huge jump, and it flipped over, and it squashed me in between the water and the.
Nice.
And
Did you
the
break your neck?
tube. Yeah.
Did you chip your
Just
tooth?
kidding.
I just imagine you landing, your head just gets whipped back.
I
don't know.
really
I
like-
was a kid then.
I really like doing those things. Like my favorite was banana
Break your
boat. You guys no. Riding behind a boat. You guys know what a banana boat is, right? Where it's kind of like a tube, but it's long, and then you can like
Giant
sit in
hot dog.
sequence. Yeah, it kind of looks like a
It's
hot
a-
dog. Like there's
it's
a
kind of a
bun and
kid-
like a middle
it's a
wiener
kid
in the
version.
thing, and then you
It's a kid
sit on the
version.
wiener.
The very
and it's-
nature of it, though, is it's gonna tip. It's such a poorly designed tube.
Well, that's part of the fun. Is like you have to like lean with
I
it
never
to try
rode
to
on
keep
it
it
'cause I
up.
was too terrified.
Oh no, they're
I saw
fun.
you guys ride on it.
I
and was
love
like,
banana boats, but I haven't ridden one. in
I
such
wish
a long time.
I wish all of our friends can go up to a lake and go tubing. That'd be really fun.
Do you know anyone like close that even has a boat or?
I don't think so. I think Jonathan Bick has one, but that's it.
John, can we use your phone?
Can we just name dropping people that no one knows?
Oh, sorry, Jesse's dad.
We could
Sorry, I
we could just have
apologize.
someone like on the shore like run really fast and pull the
Oh
Tube.
yeah, let's do that.
that'd be cool.
That
Who wants to run?
You know how sad we'd look?
It's like the most white trash thing.
2 Keystone minimum.
Wow.
Gosh dang it.
Did you have Keystone last night, Landon?
Yeah, I had some Keystone.
I
What
had
were you doing?
one, and it was terrible. It was awful. It was
You seemed like
garbage.
you liked it.
It was horrible.
Well, you don't like beer.
I don't like beer. No,
Beer's
So,
gross.
Like, even I like it had like a
Beer's-
seltzer kind of
beer's
taste,
gross.
which was okay. But then you have that tinge, that slight tinge of that beer, like that beer taste, and it's just no.
You have to drink 2 beers and then beer tastes good.
I felt like
Fine.
okay, so we didn't get like just normal Keystone. We got their like raspberry lime, like white trash, like basically
The
like
can has like a what is it? A pug?
I think it's a Boston Terrier.
A Boston Terrier with
sunglasses on.
Ray-Bans on. It's like obnoxiously pink and green.
What
can.
did it say on the can? Keylicious or something like
Keylightful.
that? Keylightful.
Kind of a
Who puts
stretch. I mean, I
Keylightful?
get it, but it's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I feel like they weren't that bad though.
No,
At the
they
end of
were
the day, they weren't
pretty
that bad.
garbage.
They weren't bad.
They
Like-
probably weren't bad compared to what other beer, but I just
Well,
think
I'm just
I
saying,
don't
like,
beer in
if I
general.
was at the lake on a hot day, dragging my friends through the shallow water, and they're sitting in, like, I feel like I might have.
Landon wants to have one of those in.
my hand.
He wants to
Yeah.
have one in each hand, and he's actually using his waist to like pull the people
I thought
behind
you
him.
were
Like the
saying
tethers.
Oh man. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I mean, Landon's just like one relationship away from being one of those people. Like, if you really think
Probably,
about
like if I started dating like the right person, like if I
Mhm,
started
yeah,
dating like
exactly.
a white trash girl, I would 100% embrace that lifestyle. Like, add like 4 bad tattoos to me, and then like
Oh no,
I probably move to like
that
Hilliard.
would be the worst timeline. Like that would be
I
like
don't know.
of all the timelines.
I feel
that
like
could
she has 2
possibly,
kids
like,
already, right? Like she's 24, 2 kids.
She also owns like 3 goats.
They're 6 and 8.
No,
The
no
kids are
goats.
6 and 8.
I feel like she has like a bunch of dogs, like pit bulls. Like
Okay,
I
so
don't know what it is.
No,
I like
Of
pitbulls.
tattoos.
I don't want to think about.
there's
that.
always other
I
random
don't wanna
kids that
think
like
about
she's
that.
babysitting too. Like there's always like that she's babysitting at her place. Like
Like, who's your
Oh.
dad? I don't know.
yeah, like
gosh,
where are your
dang it.
parents?
Where are you from?
But I just roll in though. I start like I roll in and I just grab a Keylightful out of the fridge, just crack it, you know.
No.
You come back from a hard day's work and go
Yeah,
straight
and
for
she's like yelling at me because like
because you're
you
a piece of crap.
yeah, because I'm a piece of crap. I put the
Yeah.
wife beater on. I go out. I mow the grass, but it's
'Cause
just a
you-
push mower. It's
you
just a
got the
push
fi-
mower.
you got-
no
you got the
bags that I
final
break the
notice.
grass afterwards.
You got the final notice bill for the water, like from the
Yeah.
city. That's it's going to go to collections then in like 13 business days. And
Can we stop this? I don't
Trying to
like
dig
this
your own
picture.
well.
Like I don't like this picture we're painting of Landon. It makes me sad.
okay, so
but it feels right though.
You don't
No,
know
it
the
doesn't.
No,
It
stop.
doesn't feel right.
you don't know the difference between alliteration and
No, definitely not. That's not relevant to my survival at this point. Like
okay, so speaking of
Uh,
tattoos, Mick, you have something, right?
Yeah, I yesterday I got a tattoo.
Whoa, where
I
is
got a
it?
tattoo, so it was something we could talk about on the podcast.
Congratulations.
no sacrifice too great.
That's right.
What does it say? Or
It's
what?
a-
what
Thanks
is it-
for
what
listening
is
to
it?
Hotkeys
It's a-
podcast. It's just the outro.
It's a picture of a.
No.
Dave's like, God, I'm gonna have to edit.
Okay, so white trash Landon.
Man, that's a beep right there.
I'll leave it in.
So I got a quote on my forearm from the Fellowship of the Ring. It says, "Not all those who wander are lost."
I thought it was Charles Xavier that said that.
Is that above
You
the
could read it,
picture of the?
you could read it as Charles Xavier. Not all those who wander are lost. Oh, that's like Sean
That was
Connery.
John
Yeah,
Connery.
no, not.
Logan, I need to get into the zebra. Or
The sun gives me like the sun. What is it? The sun. I can't remember what exactly that he
I have no
wants.
idea what.
The
sun?
in Logan, he
I need to
wants
watch
his
the
ship.
movie again.
The sun, sun. The sun. Like it's the ship. They're gonna go sail. That's Charles' dream throughout the entire movie.
Oh, just his boat.
All right,
What's
this
going
is-
on?
this is-
What is
this is-
so, okay.
This is a failure of a
So your
conversation. We
tat-
just need to move on.
I really like that quote. I think that's a good quote. Not
Yeah.
just for you, but actually for a lot of people. I think, and if you're gonna choose a quote from something, I think from Lord of the Rings is a perfect thing to put on.
Well,
You know,
and
just-
yeah, and it's not like it's like Legolas shot an arrow out of nowhere. It's like if you don't know what it's from, it's still, I think, a meaningful quote. But it just happens to be from one of my favorite series of all time, and I think it really speaks to at least me, and I think a lot of other people out there.
I'd say the best movie trilogy of all time.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. I would in a heartbeat
Landon's
choose.
really uncomfortable right now.
I would in a heartbeat choose the Lord of the Rings trilogy over the original Star Wars trilogy.
Oh,
If
100%.
I would
could
do
only
that.
have-
Yeah.
if I could only have
110%.
one, I would choose the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I would do
trilogy.
that
I
too.
just don't think Landon gets the
No, I
Lord of
don't
the Rings
get 'em.
trilogy. You don't,
I don't.
It's because there's no like sex or
There's
you
no
know,
sex or like
cursing.
cursing or like just hyper violence.
It's actually surprising what they get away with in PG-13 in those movies, like orcs' heads being chopped off and like blood flying
monsters.
everywhere.
They're not like they're not people.
That is true, though. There is like some like difference. Like I was listening to this other podcast about making video game trailers and just how much they could get away with if they're showing zombies.
Yeah,
like they could show a lot in trailers.
In a trailer, like that
Yeah.
shows on TV or
Yep.
something.
Like they could show zombies being chopped up.
But if it's a living
because they're
person,
zombies,
like
they're
you
not
like you
human.
can't show that.
I
Exactly,
think there's
yeah.
a psychological.
But wait,
like,
what if it's infected?
difference.
Infected aren't zombies, so
Dude.
can you show that?
There's
Michael,
no
answer.
difference.
I don't think you could show anything. I don't think you could
Gosh,
show like
dang
any.
it.
You couldn't show any of the violence from The Last of Us Part 2 in a trailer. I don't
Oh
think.
gosh.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
think-
it's violent. Yeah, I mean,
think-
even when you're fighting like the wolves or the seraphites or any of those other things. you're fighting.
Spoilers.
That's not
the
a
dog,
spoiler.
dude. The dogs.
I love killing scars.
Oh, the dogs. Yeah, yeah. You kill a lot of dogs, or you can kill a lot of dogs if you if you're forced to enter combat again when you tried to be really stealthy, but for some reason they saw you even though they shouldn't have been able to see you. Then you're forced to have to kill dogs.
They smell you. They
You know-
follow your scent.
No, I
You know,
know
it's
that. I'm saying the other. Usually, it's not the dogs that found me. It would be the other people that would find me.
Maybe you're just bad at the game.
It's crazy how.
I mean, I am playing
people-
on survival, so
Oh
No,
my
you're not.
gosh.
no, I'm not. I'm not crazy. I don't love pain.
So anyway, yeah, I got a tattoo.
Nice.
My
That's
first
cool.
one.
It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like the size of
Well,
like a little
he
heart or
originally,
something.
was gonna so right now it's 2 lines of text
Uh-huh.
on my forum. He was originally going to have just 1 line all the way down, so it's going to stop like right at my palm,
hmm
and I didn't want it like that far. So right now it's like probably like 4 inches from my palm.
Well, yeah, I was picturing something like a Post-it note size almost, and this is like it takes up your whole forearm,
I
the
actually
inside of
asked
your
for a
forearm.
Post-it note, and he said no.
He said no, we're doing it big.
That's right.
Big, no stop.
Well, it looks really. How long does it take for you to heal?
So right now I have this. They call it a second skin. It's like this basically just a plastic wrap over the
Mhm.
tattoo, and I'm supposed to keep it on there for like 4 to 5 days.
So Will is sitting right next to you, next to your tattooed arm. If he were to give you, like to twist your arm like an Indian burn, I don't know if that's the correct term anymore, but if he were to do that, would that hurt?
I mean, it would hurt anyway. if I didn't have a tattoo.
You also said
no,
your
it-
first
it-
tattoo. Does this mean you plan on getting further tattoos sometime down the road?
I don't think I'd be opposed to it. I mean, it hurts, so I don't know if I really want to get a lot.
I mean, I think it looks good. It looks really cool, and it's a good quote too. So I think it's a neat tattoo.
Yes,
You're
I
gonna
agree.
get Denethor's face tattooed.
I'm gonna get him
Love it.
eating
Him
a
falling
tomato.
from Minas Tirith, flaming.
just as right when the tomato splits open in his mouth.
Yes.
So, Landon, could you see yourself getting a
sing me a
tattoo
song.
at any point, or
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a long time.
So-
but like
where would you get one, and what do you think it would be?
for the longest time, I wanted to get the quote from Game of Thrones, the Valar Morghulis or whatever.
Valhalla Morghulis?
Yeah.
What kind of nerd would get a tattoo from a fantasy?
For a fantasy
like-
novel that they adapted into a movie or TV show.
Didn't you also want to get like was it like the wolf thing? Or
I think at one point I was thinking that, but I would think I would get that the Valar Morgulus quote, but with like maybe like a raven or something by it on my shoulder. But I'm kind of
Why not
like,
a Kraken? I thought you were one of the the Iron Isles guys.
yeah, but I just like a raven would look cooler than the Kraken. I think
That's fair.
maybe not. I don't know. But then I kind of am bitter because of how Game of Thrones ended, so I don't really know if I want to get.
You don't want to associate yourself with the fandom anymore.
Yeah, because
well,
they really butchered that.
Is there something you could get that's like kind of in line with mine, where it's like you could separate it from Lord?
I'm
like,
sure there's a good Tyrion Lannister quote. Yeah, I'm sure there's a good Tyrion Lannister quote you could put on yourself. That you know.
I want to die when I'm 80 with a cup of wine in my hand. And,
okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. The real ones know what's up.
All right, so what's next?
Other tattoos, maybe something Last of Us related, but I can't think of anything. A quote from one of those games, maybe. But
how about Walking Dead tattoo with
I'll find you. Just Glenn's head. Like
I'll find you, Maggie.
Spoilers.
No one cares.
No one cares. That's what sucks.
I like that. Like I love that moment.
Imagine our one viewer is going through our one listener is going through
we're
the
about to
Walking
lose
Dead.
our.
Have you watched that whole? Have you watched that whole scene from the show?
I have,
and you can just like, dude, that is gross, man.
Did you guys like enjoy that show or?
I enjoyed the first season and half of the second season.
Dude, I watched
those 2 seasons,
and after that, it was like.
So one thing I was thinking of is like, and this is in accordance with The Last of Us because they are, apocalyptic zombie / infection thing. So like, I think it's kind of like, because I didn't really regard the show as being that great. But then The Last of Us, I think, is regarded very well. Now, if they were to adapt The Last of Us into, a show like they are, or if they did The Walking Dead into like the style of game as like The Last of Us, do you think part of the reason that The Last of Us is regarded so well is because it's compared only itself to like the story of other video games as opposed to something like The Last of Us, which or as opposed to The Walking Dead, which its story is compared to stuff like other TV shows that are well regarded, like Breaking Bad or Mad Men or other shows like that.
I think the problem with The Walking Dead is it really loses its believability. Like it's so unrealistic. The world doesn't feel realistic at all because it kind of follows the same they just retread the same like storylines over and over
Pretty
again.
much. Like they find a place and then there's a crazy guy
dude. Like there isn't actually that much moral grayness to it.
Yeah.
Like they try to go for that, but like it's just at the end of the day, it's like, no, I would always side with these people. It's like I'm never going to side with the governor.
Yeah.
I'm never going to side with Negan. Like I'm never like these people. Like there's no actual compelling moral argument to what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to I feel like The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. Like they're really, it's not much of like good bad. It's just more the characters kind of existing in this world. Like
honestly, I think a big part too is they should have kept the show at like a 6-episode season.
Yep.
Because the first season was like that and it worked really well. The season 2 got like that was horrible. Like they spent half the season on a farm doing nothing, and it was like one of the slowest like couple episodes of.
And when everything goes to crap in the last episodes of the second season,
you can basically skip to the last couple episodes of each season, and that's like when things actually happen.
And there's too many characters, and like you don't care about like they at first it was nice because it was like, oh, it kind of felt like anybody could really die.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But then
it felt like such a focused group, right? You have one group that you have these couple characters that are the most interesting. You have, for me, when watching the first season, the characters that I thought the most interesting were Andrew, the main character. Or no, sorry, Rick.
Rick.
Andrew Lincoln, actor's name. Sorry. So Rick Grimes, his wife, Shane.
Zombie Shane?
So Shane, Zombie Shane. I like Shane. I liked
the dude from
Glenn,
Baby Driver.
and I liked Daryl, I think was his name.
Yeah.
And those were the characters that I really enjoyed. And what was the blonde girl's name?
Dale.
Andrea.
I liked Andrea. Those were like the 6 characters.
I watched it in a Walking Dead quiz.
That I was like, okay, these are the characters that I enjoy watching and their struggles and their thing. Then like, I think 5 of them are no longer. No, I think all of them are gone.
There's 2 original characters.
Carol
and Daryl are still.
Yeah,
Carol and Daryl.
That's it.
That's from the original season. That's all the surviving characters, I believe.
So did Rick actually die, or
No.
did he just leave? Or
He left, and they're gonna make like 3 movies about him. Like,
no, why?
yeah,
What?
no, that's a real.
Really?
He gets like helicopter evac by some people. Like
There's still
they think he's
helicopters in this like horrible
like there's
hellscape
some
of
weird
a world.
like when he like leaves, like they like set it up like that. Oh, some like group of government people found him, and he qualifies for some kind of mission or something.
Oh
I
my
don't. It's
gosh.
gonna.
They need
That sounds really
they,
stupid.
They should have ended that show a long time ago. It's fine to end a show like that and just find a cure and be done.
Yeah. So
Because now it just feels real. I mean, I don't watch the show, but it just feels really played out.
Also, it loses its realism due to like the first couple seasons, like they like or like at least the first season they play up like we can't shoot bullets because they'll hear us. We can't, like
right now they have like unlimited.
They have unlimited ammo. Like I mean, like literally every episode ends with them like fully automatic weapons firing into that stuff. Like like they're burning through ammo. Like it's like what is going? Like I feel like with The Last of Us, like everybody's using like realistic weapons that you would have. Like okay, I have a pump action shotgun.
Yeah.
I have a revolver.
Mm-hmm.
I have a just a 9mm hand. Like you have all these guns. It's like okay, this fits. You don't have a ton of ammo.
Well, like in the first game, you don't come across an automatic weapon until the very end of the game, which like the most powerful people have.
And that fits. Like it fits that you have one in that moment.
And then you pick one up from a guy, and then you get to use it for essentially like maybe 45 minutes to an hour or something.
Which it was really fun to use in that first.
Baby girl.
Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry today. It's not the day. I'm going careless today.
The only reason I asked the question is because it was something I was thinking of when I'm playing the second game here, because I know that, the zombie genre tends to be kind of like, especially in the last 2 decades, really has kind of just been beat into the ground. And it's something we've seen a lot of. And with the success of something like The Walking Dead, which I think initially was considered it was initially received critically well. But I think now it's, at least from my understanding, is that it really is not as much anymore.
Garbage.
And so I was just wondering.
Also, you got to think like 10 seasons in, they're over 100 hours of Walking Dead. Like
it's too much.
And also, when I play The Last of Us, like you almost sometimes kind of forget that there's zombies. To a certain extent, like you're like, like they're there, but like it doesn't feel like that's what the story is like all about. And the presentation just seems more realistic. It feels like a world that's.
Well, and I like the Walking Dead IP. Like I love the Telltale Walking Dead games.
I need to play more
like
of those.
those are done extremely well, and I get way more invested in those characters than I ever did with the TV show.
I haven't really played those, but I was one of those people that read the comics, the graphic novel.
Right, yeah.
And those I really liked, and was part
Those
of
are
the reason.
good, yeah.
And it was part of the reason that I wanted to like start watching the show. Because I think I had read through some of them before they had released the show when they started it. Because if you watch the first episode, it's basically like the first issue of the comic, and they follow it.
Yeah, there's a reason that the first episode is so good, because it's basically a straight adaptation.
First episode was is excellent, and then from all the episodes I saw, I stopped at the end of season 2. I started watching season 3. I got about 5 minutes in, and I stopped watching, and I never have gone back. But the first episode after at least season 1, season 2, I think is probably the best episode that I can remember out of those 2 seasons. But I really enjoyed the comics. I thought they were really, really good. If you guys haven't read them, I would recommend reading them. And they kind of like, I feel like they do a much better job of kind of painting this world, and then giving you this kind of this sense of it's kind of much more like the Last of Us, I would say, as opposed to the show, where you kind of there's much more moral grayness in all of the characters, and a lot more going on, and much higher stakes. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we need to start going on to our actual segment that we wanted to do for this episode.
Do we want to take just a short break? Yeah,
we can do that. We'll be right back after this short message. Yeah. And we're back. Okay, Dave. We're going to finish up this episode with one of our favorite segments. Dave, if you would so kindly take it away.
So we're actually doing kind of a special Trivia Extraordinaire episode. We each made our own quiz. Yeah, Trivia Extraordinaire. We each chose a topic that we deemed as our specialty. Now, each of us then, we rotated those topics, and one of the other people made a quiz on that topic. And then what we're going to do is compete against the other 2 people with those topics. So we have 4 quizzes today that we each made. Landon made a Nintendo quiz because Will chose Nintendo as his topic. Will made
Master of Nintendo.
Will made a Batman quiz because Mick chose Batman as his topic.
I might regret it. I'm really nervous about
Mick
it.
made a geography quiz because I chose geography as my topic.
Not geometry? Oh, shoot.
And
B squared equals what squared?
I made a Civil War.
How many sides to a triangle?
I made a Civil War trivia because Landon chose the most boring topic.
I'm gonna
the
probably
Civil War.
bomb that too. Like I'm so rusty.
You lived the Civil War multiple times, so you should know.
So we're gonna start with Landon's quiz, which is Nintendo. So we're gonna have this competition. So Will is an expert in Nintendo.
When did you finish this quiz?
So
I started making the quiz at 8:30 this morning, and I finished making it at 9:45 this morning. So
Will is an expert at
Attaboy.
Nintendo. So Michael and I are going to try to guess what the answer is, and then Will is either going to agree with the answer, tell us we're wrong, and give a different answer, or also get it wrong, and then Michael and I get the points. So we're going to follow that format for every quiz.
Landon's a fact checker here, so
yeah,
hopefully.
Okay, so
Well,
we're starting with our
we got the best that Wikipedia
Nintendo
could
quiz.
offer.
So do we each? Okay.
So
Mick and Dave will answer the question first, correct? Like the
Will,
person that's
and
not
we're
the
working
expert.
together. So Mick and I aren't competing against each other. We're
Right.
a team.
We got a
against
team.
Will.
Got a team here.
All right,
here we go.
all right,
here we go.
everybody.
Warming
this.
up.
Nintendo expert trivia created by Landon
Is
Browning.
this multiple choice?
Some of the questions are multiple choice.
Okay, good.
Some of them are not.
I like a good multiple
I'm
choice.
I'm gonna start out with a softball. Get you guys warmed up a little bit. Question 1.
Donkey Kong.
Mario. Question 1 is, what is the name of Mario's green reptilian friend who sometimes accompanies him on his journeys? This question is not multiple choice.
I'm going to say it's Yoshi. Mick, I'm going to say it's Yoshi.
I would agree with you, Dave. I think it is also
So
Yoshi.
your guys' answer is Yoshi.
Mhm.
Will, what is your answer?
Yoshi.
Mick and Dave, you're correct. The answer is Yoshi. Will,
Yeah.
you are incorrect.
Is Yoshi a dinosaur?
He's
Yes.
a reptilian friend.
Or is Yoshi Yoshi?
Next question.
Question number 2. This question is not multiple choice.
Dang it.
The maker
we're
of this game promised if the game ever came to other platforms besides the Nintendo GameCube, he would cut his own head off with a chainsaw. What was this game?
Wait, is chainsaw?
Holy smokes,
is
I don't even know.
Is chainsaw a clue here?
Is it Resident Evil 4 guy? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Resident Evil 4.
It-
I'm going to say Resident Evil 4. That's my guess. Mick, what do you think? Because that originally came out on the GameCube, and it didn't come out until other consoles later. And Leon has a chainsaw in that game, I think. And
well,
I can't think.
Leon frequently can get chainsawed his head off too. So
The Lollipop Chainsaw game. Whatever that game
what?
was.
That's PS3. By Platinum, right?
So, Will, what's the correct answer?
I have no
I
idea.
have no idea. I'm going to go with Resident Evil 4 as well.
The correct answer is Resident Evil 4.
Nice, Dave. We did it.
See, we're just as smart as Will so far.
See, yeah, I felt like that was a good question, right? That's a
Yeah,
good
that was a
question,
good question. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good question, but yeah.
Next
It's just-
question.
well, Resident Evil is interesting because it's actually made by Capcom, but it was on a Nintendo platform.
It was promised
so
as a Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah.
It was
And
supposed,
so
it was
what's
supposed to be
funny-
part of a 4-part deal with Capcom and Nintendo.
So the guy-
Will has an issue with your
Shut
quiz
up,
because it was a Capcom game.
No,
I feel like
it's not
it's
an
a
issue.
It's a Nintendo related
I was going to say it's valid because it's.
Well, then
like,
you're gonna
it's
have
a
issues
Nintendo
with my
deal.
quiz, Will.
Okay.
Okay,
Next
never mind.
one.
Question number 4. Which game in the Legend of Zelda series has sold the
Wait,
most
this is 4?
copies?
Yeah, isn't
Oh,
this
it was
3?
Three. I skipped a question that I didn't finish making.
What?
Question number 3. This is multiple choice. Which game in the Legend of Zelda series has sold the most copies? A. The Legend of Zelda. B. Ocarina of Time. C. Skyward Sword. Or D. Breath of the Wild.
Oh, dang. That's
Yeah,
hard. Those are all
This
good.
has a bonus. This
ones,
has a
too.
bonus point at the end of it too.
I'm gonna say.
Are we talking?
Ocarina of
Are we talking
Time.
about over like there's the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time and the Virtual Console?
All platforms that the game.
I'm gonna say Ocarina of Time. It's got to be Ocarina of Time, right?
Maybe, but like Breath of the Wild sold extremely
Wild's-
well.
The Breath of the Wild's attachment rate to Switches at first was like 50 or like
Watch,
right
it's
now. I think
it's gonna be
at, like,
it's gonna
30
be
or
Skyward
40%.
Sword. It's not Skyward Sword, but I'm joking.
It's not
Okay,
Skyward Sword.
I'm gonna
say
guess.
Ocarina.
Okay, Ocarina. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the original game. First game, Legend of Zelda.
I think it's Ocarina of Time.
The correct answer is Breath of the Wild.
Oh!
No way.
With
Wow.
19 million copies.
Holy
Wow.
I think the next closest was the Ocarina of Time at like 13 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Makes
And then Legend of Zelda was like 10 or something. Now
Such
a bonus
good
question.
franchise.
Bonus
Ooh,
question that
bonus.
is not multiple choice. Which game in the Zelda franchise has sold the worst?
Oh.
Are we talking about the Capcom ones, like Age of Seasons and Age of Oracles? Are those an option?
What?
I've no
Age
idea.
of Seasons and Age of Oracle.
Some
Those
game-
were
Oracle
Game
of
Boy.
Seasons,
Those
Oracle
were
of
Game Boy.
Ages.
Those were Game Boy Color
Oracle of
games that were
Seasons, Oracle of
technically made
Ages.
by Capcom.
Yeah.
Wait, are those the ones we played?
No. I played that one. I had Link's
I
Awakening.
will say that's. I will say the two that you listed, the 4 Seasons and 4. Those are not correct. I'll just
So,
eliminate
does
those
it
from the.
does it
I'm gonna say probably like
include,
Minish Cap or
DS
something.
games? Does it include like because it'd probably be either Minish Cap or Spirit Tracks, which for the DS.
I think the DS games sold pretty well though. Spirit Tracks and what was the other Phantom Hourglass?
Phantom
I think
Hourglass.
those were pretty. I would say something
You
like
guys
Minish
just make
Cap.
a guess. This is a bonus point question.
Okay,
I'll just
Okay, Minish
I'll
Cap.
go whatever.
I'm
you
gonna go
say,
with
Dave,
Minish
'cause
Cap
I
as
have
well.
No idea.
What are you going with, Dave?
Minish
Actually-
Cap. It was Game Boy Advance.
I'll go with Majora's Mask.
The correct answer is 4 Swords.
Makes
Four Swords
sense.
Adventures or 4 Swords?
I just wrote down 4 Swords. I think it was
so obvious now.
0.8 million, so it sold 800,000 copies.
Mm.
I think it was a Game Boy game.
It's a Game Boy game, but it was also like you had there's a version of the
There was-
GameCube where you had to connect it to
And you
like
could play all 4 of you
you
together.
could play all 4 of you, but you also had to have your own
Game Boy
Boys
Advance plugged
and
into
you
the
had to have
GameCube.
a GameCube.
What the
So
crap?
you had to have 5 different devices to play this single game.
That's dumb.
I mean, the hardest part out of all of that actually is just having 3 other friends.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Good question.
Thank you. Question
was all
number 4. Not multiple choice. What year was Nintendo founded?
1887. It was late 1800s. They were a card company.
Yeah.
They were a toy company.
They
yeah.
made like Hanafuda cards and like
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm gonna
say.
say,
I'm gonna. I don't know if it's that old.
Okay. Well, what's your guess?
I was gonna say just like early 1900s.
I mean, we get two answers. Will only gets one.
I'll say. Can we say like the decade?
I want an exact.
An exact
I want an
date.
exact
I'm gonna say
year.
1887. That's my
I'm gonna
guess.
say 1898.
1892.
Dave was the closest. The correct year is 1889.
Wow.
Oh, 2 years off, baby.
Yeah, I was
And
3. I
then-
was close.
Yeah. And then you went over though.
Yeah, this is Price is Right.
Price is Right rules, baby.
I just made that rule up for now. They kind of transitioned into video games. It sounds like in like the late 60s, early 70s. I
They
think.
transitioned to video games in the 1910s.
Yep.
All those Abacus games.
What? Next question. Not multiple choice. What is the best-selling piece of Nintendo hardware?
The Wii.
The Wii.
The
The
Wii.
original Wii.
No, yeah, the original Wii. It's over 100 million.
The correct answer is the Nintendo DS.
Oh,
100,
that's
100,
Yeah.
154 million
It's
units.
just behind the PlayStation 2.
and that counts. I think it's counting like Nintendo DS and DS like
And
Lite,
DSi and all
I don't think it
different
counts the
things.
Nintendo 3DS sales though. I
The
don't
PS2
believe.
Well, that's a different
3DS
console.
is different.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a different
completely
console.
the
different.
PS2 is at like 155, I think.
Yeah.
And the DS, yeah.
Dang.
Bonus.
Where's the Wii on that?
It's like 100 something million. It's like 30 million behind. I think it was like 120
Okay.
million.
That did sell really well though.
Yep.
The Nintendo
funny 'cause,
CDI,
like, no
that
one-
was the highest selling Nintendo console of all time.
Virtual Boy?
bonus point question. What is the worst selling piece of Nintendo hardware?
Virtual Boy. Oh shoot, this goes first.
I'm going to say the Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy?
The correct answer is the Virtual Boy.
Yeah!
Sold-
Dave, we're so smart.
I
It
was
only
going to guess
sold,
CDI,
like,
but you know.
It only sold like 770,000 units.
Wow.
It had a bunch of red, like when you looked into it, it was like completely red. Like the games were played like it was either red or like white or black. It was crazy. But this red tinge, it was terrible. Like I
Okay.
never actually played one, but I've seen screenshots. And
Yeah.
it's just bad.
I don't think a lot of people played them.
Yeah, I think those
Absolutely not.
numbers prove
It would give headaches. It would, yeah.
cause seizures.
This is a multiple choice question. This one's a little bit trickier, but I wanted to do it anyway. Just based off of budget to gross money made, how much money did the Super Mario Bros. Movie lose?
Oh.
A, 27 million, B, 20 million, C, 43 million, or D, 12 million?
43 million.
So this is budget.
It's
or
not budget versus gross, not
okay.
factoring in probably like
40,
advertising
43
campaigns and stuff.
I'll say
I'm going
20.
43.
27.
The correct answer is A, 27 million.
Ooh.
Nice.
What was the budget?
It was like do math off that. I don't know. It was like, I don't know.
That's
Okay,
a lot.
thanks.
Back then, that was probably.
It was
way more.
27 million higher than whatever the movie lost.
Because when did that movie come out?
93.
Yeah.
Next question. What is, not multiple choice, what is the best-selling Nintendo game ever?
Original Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
Do you have a guess?
What Nintendo games are there? Crash Bandicoot.
Does this include all the?
Is Will on his phone?
No.
No.
Okay.
all games, all Nintendo games, like
Does this-
like first-party Nintendo.
Does, no. Does this include re-releases as well? Like,
I
I'm
believe.
assuming
I mean,
so.
Oh gosh. I'm not a Nintendo guy. I don't know what Nintendo games there are. Mario Bros. 3.
it's a Super Mario.
I don't know. Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Okay, okay, all right.
Let's go. I was
Dave,
close, right?
Dave, would you like to try to redeem your?
Okay, so I said Super Mario Bros. Will, what is the correct answer?
I'm gonna say Super Mario Bros. 3.
The correct answer is Wii Sports with
Oh,
okay.
82.8
fair.
million copies.
Dang.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
That's
was
a-
kind of bundled with the Wii, so
It doesn't
that
matter. I
counts,
mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you can.
So wait,
sell it
if
as an
Uncharted is
actual
bundled with the
game.
PlayStation, does that not count as a purchase of an Uncharted game?
It does,
What?
but it's okay.
Wait, did you guys have that argument or
I don't
something?
think so.
Where did that come from?
Final question.
now?
This is for all
Cool.
the marbles.
All right.
Which
Triple
company
points.
is better, Sony or Nintendo?
Now, how do you classify better?
Well,
Better.
Well, since this is Landon's quiz, I'm gonna say Sony because Landon made this quiz.
I'll say my favorite out of the two is Sony. I mean, Nintendo's fine.
How do you measure better? Like
just not a
games
Nintendo
units
person.
sold? Do you mean like?
Better.
Think in the mindset of Landon here.
It's probably Sony. Knowing
The correct answer is Sony. Oh, it's a masterpiece.
Remember what I said off the podcast to you? Like,
Well,
that actually wasn't a real question on my quiz. I just made that up.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
I'm a failure.
good quiz.
well,
Good
thank you for
quiz,
your
Landon.
quiz.
Was that as bad as you guys thought it was going to
No,
be?
that's
that
way
was
better
good.
than I
For a
thought.
quiz that was made 3 hours ago, it wasn't bad.
I made it in 40 minutes. I had one question that I was trying to make. I'm actually sad I didn't get to make this one, but I was going to have the question be which piece of Nintendo hardware has the most Mario titles released on it?
Oh,
And it was actually way harder to find. Like, I was trying to find like a breakdown list.
Landon's like,
I had
I have to
more-
do research for this question.
Yeah, I know.
Screw
I'm
that.
like,
honestly, it might be the Game Boy Advance because the Game Boy Advance had 4 re-releases,
And it could play all
of
Game Boy
Mario
and Game
games.
Boy
It could
Color
play
games.
all
Game
Game
Boy
Boy
Color
Color
games.
games, all Game Boy games as well.
Yeah.
So it would probably be the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, well, thanks for that quiz, Landon.
Okay, Will. So you are next. Now, Mick chose Batman as his topic. So you are gonna do your Batman quiz, and Landon,
Just don't do as
Landon
bad
and
as that
I-
second quiz.
Landon
I'm
and
gonna
I
apologize
will.
ahead of time if I get all these wrong. I'm really nervous about
So
this.
Landon and I are gonna
There's a lot
compete
riding
against
on
Mick, and Will does his Batman
Okay.
quiz.
So you and Landon answer first, and then I'll
Yep.
answer.
Okay.
Question 1.
Who's hotter, Harley Quinn? Or
Batman.
Or Poison
All
Ivy.
right, all right. Question 1. Who are the 3 villains featured in Batman's very first standalone comic, Batman issue number 1?
Oh no.
The
Is this
Riddler, the Penguin, and the Joker.
No, Joker wasn't in it at first. I don't think.
Wait, is this Detective Comics issue 27?
Nope, this is Batman issue number 1 in 1940.
I'm gonna say
I have no idea. Landon, this is yours. Take it away.
it's all on me. It's all on me right here. Let me just check my phone real quick. I'm gonna say I'll go with it's probably some obscure villain that's like hasn't been in any other comics. It's just like,
You want me
Dick
to give you guys-
Dastardly.
You know,
I know one.
You-
I know one.
Yeah, you know all 3 of these.
okay, they're okay.
These are villains that you would know, all 3.
I'm gonna say my guesses would be Riddler, Mr. Freeze, and Harvey Dent.
Riddler,
Two.
Penguin, Catwoman.
Okay, Joker's one of them.
Correct. Joker's one of them.
Landon, you screwed me again.
I'm a fool. Man. Joker.
I was so
I
confident.
trusted
I'll say
you.
Joker, Penguin, and the Riddler.
The correct answers are Joker, Catwoman, and Hugo Strange.
Oh. Well, I said Catwoman. Landon didn't say any right.
We would have almost had. We would have almost had 2 out of 3 if I hadn't told you to shut up.
Yeah. It's not the Joker later. Okay, next question.
Next question. Question 2. All right. How many actors have portrayed the Joker? The closest number to the correct answer wins, and this includes voice work.
What? Oh gosh.
Okay.
Landon. So we have live action from the original. We have 3, right? What's his face? Val Kilmer, and then George Clooney. So that's,
Wait, no, we're talking about Joker.
not Batman.
Oh,
not
Joker.
Batman,
Dang
dummy.
it.
Wow, this is gonna be terrible.
37. It's like 12.
Just count in your head. Don't give Mick any hits. Count in your head. We'll both.
No,
come
Mick
to
doesn't need our
own-
help.
Yeah, no,
No, because he knows the right answer.
Oh.
We are just trying to guess the right answer.
Okay.
So we have original.
I don't
Jack-
expect you
Jack
to get the
Nicholson.
exact number. It's the closest number to who
no,
gets
we'll
it.
get it exact.
Okay, so we have Jack
Joaquin
Nicholson.
Phoenix.
Okay, let's do it in chronological. Why are you jumping all over the place?
Let's work our way back. Joaquin Phoenix.
This is so entertaining. This is the most entertaining part of
Okay,
the podcast.
Joaquin Phoenix,
Okay,
Heath
Joaquin-
Ledger, Troy
Ledger.
Baker.
Wait, okay. Now you're mixing. I thought we were doing live action and then going to.
Okay, live action. You want to just do live? How about you just count it live action? Then? How about you just do it? Okay.
Okay, so we have 3 live action, right? Jack Nicholson,
Joaquin,
Ledger,
Heath,
Joaquin Phoenix. Okay.
and
Okay,
then
Troy
there's the one
Baker.
from the '60s show, like the.
Oh,
Right?
Cesar Romero. Yeah. Okay.
That's 4.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Voices. We have Troy Baker, who did some of the video games. We have
Mark
Mark Hamill, who's done it a bunch.
And there's a dude, probably the dude that voices him in the Telltale games. So that's probably another one. So just tack another one on there.
Okay.
So-
And then do we just guess that there's 5 more? So we say 12.
If you want,
I'm gonna
Yeah, I don't know.
guess 12. What are you gonna guess, Landon?
I'll say 10.
Okay. Mick, are you on your phone?
Yeah, mix on.
I'm writing down.
Oh,
I'm not looking up anything. How many?
it's okay. Parker privilege. He can use his phone. That's all.
Yeah.
Wow. Hold on. Okay, so 10 and 12 were your answers. Michael, do you have an answer for me yet?
Almost. I'm gonna say
Okay. Wait, we have our answer from Michael.
I'm gonna
And your
say-
answer is
15.
15 is the exact correct answer.
Wait, what?
Let's
go.
He looked it up.
Let's
Look at
go.
his history. Look at his search history.
Well, did you get what the oddball one that everybody forgets is Zach Galifianakis
Yep.
voiced the
for Joker in the Lego movie.
in the Lego
the
movie.
Lego Batman movie.
Lego Batman movie.
Oh, that's the one I forgot, and some
And
others.
there's also a couple more from like the animated series.
There's a couple from animated series and some animated movies.
I mean, Landon and I only knew 7 of them, so like there was, a handful. There was 8 that
I
I
actually
didn't know.
almost thought about bumping my guess to 15. Like there was
Wow.
like a part of me that was like, ah.
This is your fault that we're losing. Okay, next question.
This next one should be a lot easier. What famous Batman storyline explored the origins of the Joker?
I think I know
A
that,
Killing
right?
Joke.
Yeah.
Michael, do you want to correct them?
I mean, that's technically true, but I mean, I'm sure there's other issues that
That's
feel like that's what
the
he's going.
most famous.
I would say the
Batman
Killing Joke then.
story. Okay,
Yeah.
Killing Joke is correct. Is the one that I
Yeah.
had down.
Yay.
I think there's other
We did it.
issues like in Detective Comics or something like that.
There's
that
other
help
issues
explain
like
it.
that go like under the Red Hood type of thing.
Yeah, the Killing Joke's based on Under the Red Hood, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, good one. So, question number 4.
Yes, that was a good one. Will.
Or, I mean, good answer. Sorry. I'm nervous about my question. Question
You're
4.
nervous. I'm nervous.
How many different Robins are there to date?
Oh my gosh, it's like 4 or 5. There's at least 3 because
It's
we
like
know that from
20.
a couple
If you can
episodes
name
ago.
And if you can name them all, extra point.
Oh gosh.
Dick
Uh,
Grayson.
Yeah, there's Dick Grayson.
I gotta write it
There's
down again.
there's Travis
Kelsey.
Bickle.
Wait, really?
No, that's the main character from Taxi Driver. I don't know. I'm gonna say 5. 5 Robins.
Dude, there's got to be more
Wait,
than
is
that.
this okay?
There's got to be like the Teen Titans Robin.
Wait, like
Right.
what?
Nope. So Robins is in the main line different Robins.
Like,
so
okay.
not multiverse, not
Just different named
like
characters.
different named characters that take up the Robin mantle in the comics, not including like Teen Titans Go or
Okay, I'm
Teen
gonna say
Titans
4 then.
Bird.
4. My guess is 4. Landon.
I'll add an extra one. I'll tack an extra one there. Just give us a chance. 5.
Okay,
Say 5
Mick.
Robins. 5 Rubens. It's like 22. Will's like, exactly correct.
6.
I have 5.
Who are they?
I have
I did it.
I have Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, and Damian Wayne.
You're forgetting Carrie Kelly.
Carrie Kelly, is that a Robin?
Yep, from
Yeah.
The Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
Is that canonical?
Yes.
Dang. I looked it up, and even the Batman wiki itself.
No, Will
said
said
there
the
were
correct
5.
answer is 5.
Oh, interesting.
The quiz
Okay,
master knows all.
What about Robin
And technically, there's another one too
from Dark Knight Rises when at the end when he says his real name is Robin?
Which issue it was, but there's like one frame of, and this is kind of like an Elseworld, so it probably doesn't really count. But there's one of a black Robin. I don't remember his name.
Robin?
And then actually in The Simpsons, there's an episode where there's a clip of a black Robin too. Little fun fact.
All right. So this next question has a lot of different answers, but
What? I'm scared.
I have okay.
Is The Last of Us Part 2 good?
Does The Last of Us Part 2 story suck? Yes or yes? All right. Question 5. Name 3 major love interests for Batman. Extra point for 4.
Dick Grayson.
Wait, is this-
Todd.
Oh gosh. Wow. Is this just comics?
I think
This
those
is
are
in
more,
the
those are
comics
more lust
that have
interests.
come up multiple times. So not
Okay.
like a one-off shoot,
Okay.
not a fling in a like Poison Ivy wouldn't count because
Okay.
there's
Okay.
I think there's a comic with that they fall in love together, and
Yep.
it's just that they are brought up multiple times as a love interest for Batman.
Okay.
Okay.
Ra's al Ghul's daughter. Forgot her name.
Talia.
Talia al Ghul.
Yeah.
The cat woman.
Selena Kyle.
Selena Kyle, and then
Dude, probably
I
that
don't know the
that
one.
reporter chick. Maybe he like has a thing with a reporter chick, right? There's the
Reporter
chick in-
chick.
There's a chick in the Michael Keaton Batman. What's her name? You know, Michael Keaton Batman. You know.
okay, those are
I
my
need a name. I need a name. Give me a name.
Those are my 3 guesses.
Okay.
Wait. I'm gonna say. Because he has that weird, creepy love interest within that Batman new animated movie that came out, like where he's like Batwoman or Batgirl or whatever. Like
But that's like a
that's a
fling
one-off.
thing, and
That's
it's,
a
yeah.
fling thing, a one-off.
And it's mainly comics. You said
It's
right?
mainly comics. So Detective Comics and Batman issues and
Right.
everything after that.
So what are
The
you going
Amazing
with, Dave?
Batman, the Spectacular Batman.
So how many you're saying, Dave? You're saying
DC
3?
reboot.
I mean,
You're saying
I only
3?
know the ones that you told me the names of: Selena Kyle and
Talia.
Talia al Ghul. So
I feel like we got to tack a couple more on there, right?
I mean, yeah, sure, you can. I can't think of any more.
The question is name 3.
Oh,
not
gosh, name
not
3.
how many are there.
Oh no. Oh dear. Yeah, well, we named those 2, and then
Yeah, Mick, give us.
what's the reporter? What's the reporter?
I don't
chick's
know.
name?
I don't
I'm
know her
gonna hand
name.
it over to Michael.
It's
to
the
tell you
reporter chick. It's the
chick's
reporter
name.
chick.
Okay, so it's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have Selena Kyle.
Yep.
You have Talia al Ghul.
Correct.
The reporter.
You have Vicky Vale.
Yes, correct.
yes,
who is the
correct.
reporter.
And one more for the extra point.
Oh my gosh.
I think you know which one I'm trying to search for. I'll give you a hint. Detective Comics, all way back in the day.
I'm giving myself a point for this
Mary
one.
Jane Watson.
Lois Lane.
That's so
Gwen-
stupid.
Gwen.
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy. Barbara. Whatever.
The Gwen Stacy
Betty
from
Brant.
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, Betty Bryant.
The Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man 3, though. Just that specific.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
She's so hot.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted. I can't think of.
Okay, who's the
Her
4th?
name is Julie Madison.
Ah,
Man,
I
I feel
was
pretty
never
good
gonna
at
get that.
the reporter chick. I feel like I get points for that. I knew it was Vicky Vale.
Okay, next question.
Did you? Even that trap. I knew as soon as
Did
I
you
heard
know?
it, click, it's like boom. It's like
Hey,
Next
that's
question.
that's
Next
a-
question. Which
a lot of whatever the word is. Vicky Vale.
which famous Batman storyline is about the murder of Jason Todd?
isn't that the Under the Red Hood
Death in the
thing?
Family.
Oh yeah. What he said probably.
The one that Will doesn't. Will didn't
Doesn't
like in
understand.
Batman. Superman.
Which Batman storyline doesn't make sense in Batman versus Superman? There's a
Dude, stop.
offshoot
You gotta
reference to it.
stop.
Well, and that actually came out that Robin was actually Dick Grayson Robin, not Jason Todd.
Oh, really?
Okay, so
Wait,
Death in
what?
the Family is
I
my
thought
guess.
Jason Todd was the one that was murdered.
Well, in the comic, in the movie, it was.
Oh,
Dick Grayson.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Oh, whoa. That's weird. Anyway. Yeah. So, Michael, do you want to correct them or not?
That's Death in the Family.
Incorrect. I'm just kidding. Incorrect answer. Incorrect answer.
Okay.
Death in the family. Correct answer. A death in the family. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Question number 7. This one's a little hard. These 2 detectives are prominent characters in the comics after the 1980s and have worked under Commissioner Gordon as part of the GCPD. These two are partners in crime fighting crime, and one of them takes over the question mantle, while the other is formerly of Checkmate, a spy organization. Both of them have saved Gordon's life numerous times. Who are they?
Huh? No.
I have no guess. These are two cops?
Two cops that are prominent in the comics.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt and
your hint is that one of them has been adapted in a movie.
Okay, I know it.
I don't know. I have no idea.
maybe. Well, give me half a second. Give me just half a second.
One.
to dig into my-
Okay, go.
In a movie, which movie were they adapted?
No, wrong.
Okay, Mick, what is
I
it?
have no idea.
Okay, one of them is Ramirez.
Nope.
Dang it.
Oh,
The other one is Bullock.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Harvey Bullock and Renee Montoya.
Oh, Montoya. Dang it. That's what I meant to say. Shoot.
No points.
Renee Montoya and Harvey Bullock are the
Yeah.
two characters I'm looking for. All right.
Montoya.
So
Can you tell them what when Montoya was in the movies?
Birds of Prey,
Birds of
right?
Prey. Yeah, she was the Birds of Prey cop.
Yep. I was thinking Ramirez because she was in The Dark Knight
Yeah.
and she's been in the comics, I believe.
Okay, next question.
All right. Question number 8. What year did Batman debut? Not the comic, the character.
1938 or 1939? I think it's 39.
I'll go 38 just in case. Check our.
Nick?
It's 1939.
39 is correct. Yep.
Superman is 38.
All right. That's what
And
I
the
was.
Detective comic started in 40, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No,
Detective Comics
were
was
before.
Before Batman issue number 1 was 1940.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's
all
what I meant.
Question number 9. Which semi-famous Batman storyline is about tracking down a new villain named Midnight?
Tower of Babel. I have no idea.
It
was just the first
Cool
one that came to mind.
Wow.
I don't know. It's not Tower of Babel.
is not Tower of Babel.
I just want Boys season 2.
What does that have to do with my quiz? My trivia that I put 3 days into.
I just want to watch Homelander burn people's brains out.
Okay.
Wait,
all
I
right.
thought he was a good guy.
Michael, do you know the answer?
I don't know.
The answer is Gotham After Midnight.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Gotham.
It's told in a
midnight.
horror
Yeah,
style.
that's a great run.
All right. And the last question, I think that Michael is going to get that. Gonna get this one. Which
Hope so.
famous Batman storyline is about tracking down the Holiday Killer?
Batman Calendar Club.
Calendar. Yeah,
Calendar.
I don't know. I have no
Batman?
idea.
Not Batman. Michael?
I mean, you could call it. You guys don't know.
I don't think no.
It
I don't
is the Long Halloween.
The Long Halloween. Is
Yes, of course.
That's a great storyline or story arc. You guys should read it if you haven't.
How do you get comics?
You go to the comic store or you buy
There's
them on.
something
Are
called
you joking?
Amazon.com. You can probably buy
Are you
them as
joking,
well.
Landon?
There are
but how does one
there's
there's
DC,
how does
DC
one
apps where you
acquire?
can download a digital comic.
But how do I get them?
The Long Halloween is one of the main inspirations for the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson.
Oh.
Okay,
The
that was a
Long
good
Halloween.
quiz, Will. Thank you. I think
quiz,
Mick.
Will.
I think
Thank you. Good job.
Mick beat us, Landon.
Yeah, I mean it was close. I mean probably half a point maybe, but
Okay, next quiz. This is Mick's geography quiz. Will and Landon will be competing against me because I chose geography as my topic. Michael has 37 questions, all geography related.
How'd you know?
I feel like Dave set this up because at least I don't know squat about geography and I don't know about Landon.
Dude,
but I think Michael would be the second closest thing to coming close to Dave's geography knowledge, and he purposely made him do the quiz so that Dave would win against us.
I mean, I did
Here's
set
the
it up
deal.
that way so that I looked way smarter than you guys. So, that was the
You
whole
guys
point.
haven't known me for forever. Back the old gang I used to run with, they used to call me the Geo King, because I knew all that geography stuff.
All right, question number 1, Michael.
Okay. Well, like Dave did last week, I named my quiz.
Oh yeah.
This is called "Don't Know Much About Geography."
Here we go.
Okay, number 1.
You ripped that out from a song.
I did. This starts off easy. Which city is known as the Big Apple?
Me.
Extra points for if you know why.
New York.
New York because of the stock market trade.
It is New York, and I don't know why.
Okay, you are all correct. It is New York. The term became popular in the 1920s. It referenced the prizes or big apples rewarded at the many racing courses around New York.
How do you like them apples? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's go, boys.
Let's
Good Will Hunting.
All right, good job. Number 2. In which state did the Roswell UFO incident occur?
God dang it. Oh, God.
Ohio.
Are you confident on that?
No. That's just a random guess.
I'm going to say it's New Mexico.
It's Roswell, New Mexico.
You both are correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, Will, it's not Ohio.
It's okay. Landon's on my team.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, a lot of astronauts are from Ohio.
Can you guys name
so it's a good
the
line
can you
of
guys name
thinking.
the date that occurred?
1939.
No, it's 1957, 1956.
1956.
I don't know what date it is.
1947.
What,
Yeah,
47? Oh, dang, I was a whole
47.
decade off. I'm stupid.
Okay.
I want everybody here to watch a movie. I'm going to kind of brief cut.
Yeah.
There's a movie that came out on
No, I
Amazon.
changed my mind.
There's a movie that came out on Amazon that I've heard is really good about UFO sightings called The Vast of Night. It's kind of supposed to be like a Twilight Zone kind of episode about this DJ, this nighttime radio DJ that starts like picking up like frequencies or something.
That sounds like a Stephen King novel.
Sounds like Donnie Darko.
So
What?
just throwing
Donnie
that out there.
Darko. That doesn't sound at all like Donnie Darko.
All right. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're fine. Okay. Number 3. How many states begin with the word? Oh, and this is U.S. geography.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
that's fair.
Okay.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Make that
easy.
point. How many states begin with the word new?
Okay.
And can you name them all?
New Mexico, New York, New Hampshire, New Rhode Island, New Washington.
okay. You're gonna mess this up. You're gonna mess
That
this
went
up.
off the rails.
All right. Let me.
New Texas.
I'm gonna take over for Will. I'm gonna say New Mexico 1, New York 2,
New Hampshire.
New Jersey
New Jersey, New
3,
Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Such a scared
New York, New Jersey, New Mexico, New Hampshire.
Dave probably has this stupid song where he's like, I can
No, he
sing
definitely
starting
has
in front
some
of men.
dumb
Like,
effing song.
Well, I'm trying to think here. You guys just keep going. So.
New Jersey, New Hampshire, New York, New Mexico.
There's probably one more.
I feel like there might be one more, but I can't.
Okay, there's 4. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
are
4,
right.
yeah,
It's those
yeah,
4.
yeah, yeah.
Because there are 10 states that are
Nevada.
There are 10 states that are 2
What a
words
pun.
long, and it's actually really funny because actually I have a lot. I really like trivia, and
What?
and I have a lot of
I didn't know
quizzes
that.
I
No
I
way.
will work on certain elements of them. One thing I have is some geography stuff. One of my questions is what are all the states that have more than 2 words, and what are they? And so there's North Dakota, South Dakota, North Carolina, South Carolina. There's
West
West
Virginia.
Virginia, Rhode Island.
Virginia.
Wait, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's more.
He doesn't know
I thought there was
a
10.
darn thing about geography.
He's a fool.
James
a fraud.
Wait, maybe there's more.
Been
than-
faking it this whole time.
And then there's yeah, so New Mexico, New Jersey, New Hampshire, and New York. So 4.
You are
Good job, Landon.
correct.
Thank you.
We did it.
Yay.
We did it. We did it.
Good Toy
I'm
Story
gonna do
reference.
Clue Finders trivia next week.
Good question. Good question. I like that one.
Thank you. Good answers.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4. How many states start with the letter M, and can you name them all?
Massachusetts, Mississippi,
Massachusetts.
Off to a great start.
Mississippi,
Montana.
Montana, New Hampshire.
Stop. Okay, you're
New Hampshire,
okay.
Nevada.
Montana, Minnesota, Michigan,
Mississippi.
Mississippi, Massachusetts. Did we already say that?
No. Not in this.
Massachusetts.
Not in this number. I feel like there's another one.
Maryland.
Maryland.
Alaska.
Okay, can I do it?
Landon yells at me
Okay,
for like
so there's-
making a joke.
Okay,
How many
ready?
was that?
6.
6. Okay.
Okay, there's I hear an echo. There's Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana.
Missouri and Maine is the ones we forgot.
So 8. There's 8.
Dave is correct.
I didn't have enough time.
I'm gonna go leave. I don't deserve to be in the same room as Dave.
Good job, Dave.
Thanks.
Landon and Will, not so much.
Yeah, what's over? Okay, they're okay. It's cool.
Number 5. In what state is LaGuardia Airport located?
God, dude, I don't know.
June.
What? I do have multiple choice if you guys
Yes,
need it.
please.
No,
yes,
no multiple choice. I know this one.
I know, but we don't.
No, wait, no, that's not fair.
What do you mean?
That's pretty fair. Dave knows this.
I
That
know
ain't
this
fair.
one, but like we
if
don't
Dave,
know it.
If Dave knows it, you guys have to take a guess then.
Okay, give us a minute. In what state? LaGuardia.
Montana.
No.
Probably New Mexico.
I'm gonna say Louisiana.
Okay.
I'm gonna say New Mexico.
LaGuardia is in New York. There's New York City in Queens, and then there's JFK, which is also in Queens, and then there's Newark, which is in New Jersey.
I
It's
don't
one
think
of the
that's right.
three one of the three main airports
No, that's
in the
not.
New York
Wrong.
City metro area.
Tell him he's
You're
wrong.
wrong.
Tell him he's wrong.
You're wrong.
That is, that's correct.
It's in Texas.
Texas. All right, good job, Dave. That is correct. New York.
Thank you.
Number 6. The Colorado River flows through all of the following states except for which of the following?
Oh, dang it.
Is it A, New Mexico, B, Idaho, C, California, D, Wyoming?
Colorado.
I'm gonna say California.
I'm gonna say California as well. I don't know. That's the obvious outing, though. That's the obvious
Or maybe
Does the Colorado River go down to maybe a portion of California?
it's Idaho. Maybe it doesn't go through Idaho.
I don't think it goes through Idaho.
Maybe it doesn't start in Idaho. I don't know. I mean, dude, it could really be any one of them.
Does it start in Idaho?
I really
and
want
go
to think about it.
What are the?
All right,
what
now
are,
convince
so
yourself.
it's
it's
Idaho,
Wyoming.
Colorado. What did you say? Wyoming?
New
is
New
the-
Mexico, Idaho,
population's really
California,
small.
and Wyoming.
I think it's either New Mexico or California because it can't end in both of them, right? Or it can't go through both of them.
It
right?
could.
So which
it
one?
could do anything it wants to. It's a river.
Well, there are other states that can go through Will that Mick just hasn't.
Which one is it then?
New Mexico.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it doesn't go through. I'm gonna say Idaho. It doesn't go through Idaho, man.
Okay.
This one's hard because I'm struggling a little bit. This is the Colorado comes out and it goes through Nevada and California because the Hoover Dam is part of the Colorado.
Mhm.
I think its starting point is actually in the Rockies, but I'm trying to think. I don't know if it goes to New Mexico. I think it would be Idaho. Would be my guess that it doesn't go through Idaho.
Idaho is correct.
Dang it! No! I went through with my strong knowledge of rivers and geography, and I just pieced it together. I'm like, it can't be Idaho. I just can't.
Yeah, that was a great mental pathway you took there.
Good question.
Failure. I'm a failure.
All right.
I'm a failure. I'm a fat failure.
Oh wow. Okay.
Bleep that.
I'm a. Wait. All right. Number 7. Which state has 2 panhandles?
Oh,
What are panhandles?
I know this one.
What are panhandles?
Can anyone tell me what a panhandle
Oh,
is?
I can tell you a panhandle. Yeah, because this is
Okay.
one of those questions that I had on my geography quiz that I've been working on for a while. A panhandle is a section that shoots off of something. So I'll give you an example of a state that has one that isn't the answer. Texas, the Texas Panhandle, like the northern one, it sticks up.
So wait,
like where
what are-
Oklahoma is, that's a
What's the
panhandle.
question again?
That's 2 panhandles. I'm
Which
gonna
state
guess
has 2
Michigan.
panhandles?
I'm gonna say Michigan.
It's basically like a peninsula, right? Except not
Sort
in
of, yeah.
water.
But there's a weird classification because the U.S. has 10 states that have peninsulas. 2 of them are in one state, and some things that you think would maybe be a peninsula actually aren't.
Yeah.
Sorry, a panhandle aren't a panhandle. I think it's kind of what the state itself classifies. Like if they say like the panhandle, the panhandle of Texas will say that, and that what it means.
Right.
I'm saying Michigan.
I'm saying Washington.
It is.
Wait. I do have multiple choice if you guys want that.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
no. I don't need multiple choice.
Okay. I'm saying Michigan.
It's Maryland.
Alexander, Maryland.
Dude,
You guys are all 3 incorrect.
What? No, that's not.
Dave's like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. I can't. That's not true. That's impossible. What's the correct answer?
The correct answer is West Virginia.
Oh no! No, that's what I meant. West Virginia.
West Virginia.
It's weird though. Some things like the not to take over this question, but the other states that have
That's so unlike you,
panhandles.
Dave, to take over stuff.
Other states that have panhandles is Connecticut, Nebraska technically has a panhandle, Oklahoma, Florida, Maryland, and then West Virginia has 2 of them.
Yep.
Michigan.
And then, but like Utah, like how Utah has a thing that's not technically a panhandle. They don't call that a panhandle. But then you see Connecticut, which has like this tiny little thing that sticks out. That is technically a panhandle. And
Yeah.
it's weird what we consider panhandles and what we don't. Dang it!
Right.
Shoot.
You all suck.
Yeah, you suck, Dave. You don't even know. Gosh,
You
darn thing
suck
about
too,
geography.
Landon. Okay, number 8. I only have 10, so we're almost done. Number 8. Which state has the least amount of rainfall each year?
New
The least
Mexico.
amount of rainfall.
by inches.
Oh, it's probably Arizona.
I do have multiple choice if you guys want it.
Arizona. I think it's
Least
Arizona.
amount of rainfall.
Arizona.
I'll take
Nice.
I'm
multiple choice. Yeah, multiple choice.
I'll take it. Yeah, sure, man.
Okay,
I
you
want
have
multiple choice. I want Arizona.
okay, you have Utah, you have Arizona, you have Nevada, and New Mexico.
Arizona is my final answer.
I'm gonna go
Lock
Nevada,
it in.
Nevada.
I think it's Arizona. I think it's Arizona.
Nevada.
Arizona,
Arizona.
Nevada.
Nevada, Arizona.
Yeah.
Nevada.
The correct answer is Nevada.
Oh, suck it, nerd.
no.
Let's go, boys.
Let's go, Landon. We're on team. That's a point for both of us.
Let's go.
Can you guess how? Can you guess the amount of inches each year?
2.5 inches.
-4 inches.
Just
sucks it out.
Yeah, it sucks it out of the ground and goes into the sky.
Statewide, the average annual precipitation is only 10 inches.
Dang, that's crazy.
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
And then there's Washington and like Maine and other things like that where it like has so
800
much.
feet.
Well, what a great segue to my next question.
Oh.
Number 9, which state has the most amount of rainfall each year?
Or
I also have multiple choice if you guys want it.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll take multiple choice.
A, Oregon. B, Hawaii. C, Maine. D, Alaska.
Hawaii.
Go Maine.
Hawaii.
Maine.
The answer is Hawaii.
Hawaii.
No. No, that's okay. That's okay. We still got the point.
Yeah, you got the
Can
point.
you guys guess the statewide average?
600.
256.
600
crap.
feet. 600 feet.
No, it's not.
That is ridiculous.
200.
There would not be a Hawaii island anymore.
It would just all erode into the ocean.
256 inches.
Dave, do you have a guess?
No, I don't. I really don't.
The statewide annual precipitation is 63.7 inches.
256.
It did. It would when Mick and I lived there. It would rain every so often, but it was a lot of rain and it was warm rain, so that was nice.
It was so nice. It
Warm
was
rain
awesome.
sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
it was really cool.
Fluid.
All right, last question here. Number 10.
For all the points.
all the marbles.
marbles.
All the cigars.
Which is better, Sony or Nintendo?
What's the best state? Number 10. In what state and city was George Lucas born?
Skywalker Ranch.
George Lucas wasn't born. He's always been.
He is omnipresent
I'm trying to think.
and omnipowerful.
Dude, I don't really know this.
New Jersey.
I do have multiple choice.
Yes,
which
please.
You
Yes,
guys
please.
will probably
Yep,
want.
yep.
I know the state. I don't know the city. So
Give
I'll
us
take
multiple
multiple choice.
Okay, here we go. Is it A, Flagstaff, Arizona? B, San Antonio, Texas? C, Modesto, California? D, East Liverpool, Ohio?
I'm going with Texas.
Okay.
Intense sweat is coming from Landon's brow.
I'm so drenched right now. I'm shaking.
He's taking his mask that he has on the table and wiping it.
I'm gonna say he was born in Arizona. I don't think
Okay.
that's right, but I'm just gonna say it.
The correct answer is Modesto.
Dave is correct. Modesto, California.
No, no.
That's actually pretty close to where I was born too.
That's
I was born in Merced,
Are you
California.
Yeah. In
I
that
could be.
I-5 in that I-5
That is
valley
really
near
unfortunate.
Yosemite.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate we lost that point, but we'll continue on. Next question.
No, that was the last question.
That was the last question.
No.
I think.
I think we kept it pretty.
You guys did okay.
All things
Landon
alike.
over here trying to change history. I think we were pretty equal.
I feel like I did better on that quiz than the Batman quiz.
Well, the Batman quiz was hard.
That
Okay,
was a
now
hard
are you guys
quiz.
ready for
I'm
a
sorry.
really
All
tough
right, good
quiz?
Job, good job.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Yes, give it to me.
Okay,
I'm
so
I'm
this-
gonna bomb my own.
12 in general.
Okay, I'm gonna
43.
say now,
All right, Will,
not
we got
to
this.
like
Let's go. Let's go.
not to like bash Landon's topic, but the Civil War is kind of a dry subject.
So we're gonna say thanks for watching right now.
Landon's quiz sucks. We're gonna move on.
no. So
Well, it's not Landon's quiz.
some of these
Landon's
questions,
Well, his topic.
these questions aren't. I don't think these questions will be that hard. Okay, so I think Landon will not have too much issue with this.
Maybe I will. I don't know.
But I wanted to make it a little accessible for Mick
Listeners.
and Will, because I didn't want to be asking questions like how many deaths were there in this battle.
Dude, I'm really
in the
rusty
Civil
on my
War.
Fill in the blank. Blank war.
23 years into Robert E. Lee's service. What rank was he? This was prior to the Civil War.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Okay, now so we're gonna start off with an easy question, softball. In the Civil War, who were the good guys and who were the bad guys?
Does your quiz have a
Really
name?
subjective on your opinions on states' rights.
Is
I'm
this
not, I'm not looking for a real answer here. But
is this
The North are the bad guys.
is this the actual first question?
North of the good guys.
North are the good
south
guys.
Of the bad
South
guys.
is the bad guys.
no, this is not a real question. I just wanted to lighten the mood from the very beginning.
That's really your. It depends on your
South
view of
West.
objective morality. You can clearly say that the North is objectively good.
I mean, yes, the answer is yes. Of course, the North were the good guys and the South were the bad guys. But, whatever.
Of
Okay,
course.
so our first real question. On June 30th, 2020, this state retired their official state flag, which they'd had since 1894. Which state was this, and what was on the flag? So this was just June 30, 2020. This state got rid of their flag.
Louisiana,
I want to.
Do we get
Louisiana,
multiple choice?
Louisiana,
multiple
and
choice?
cotton.
Do you have
Yeah,
multiple
that's my
choice?
guess.
No.
I have
Okay,
no
I'll
idea.
give you
You
multiple choice.
You don't have to. No, 'cause
Okay,
I think I know. it. I
Landon
think
doesn't
I
want
might
multiple
know it.
choice.
No, I think it was Mississippi, and it had the Confederate flag on it. That's just a guess.
So Mick and Will.
I don't know, dude.
No idea.
I have no idea.
Okay, so Mississippi State Legislature passed a bill retiring their state flag. The upper left-hand corner contained not the Confederate flag; it was the Confederate battle flag. So this
Okay, I'm
one,
going to give myself a point for
Yeah,
that.
no,
they're very
Confederate
different.
Battle flag.
the Confederate
not Confederate
the battle flag is the one that it has the blue cross on the red background with the white stars in it. The Confederate States of America flag was different. It was called the Stars and Bars.
Yeah.
That one I think was on a different state, the Georgia state flag, and I think that one's still on there. I'm not sure. Okay,
Point
now
for us.
Yeah, good job, Will.
Good job.
So
half a
the
point.
flag-
Do I get
the-
half a point for that?
yeah, sure, half a point. Well, you got
I think I got a
Mississippi,
whole
so that's
point.
good.
I think I got a whole point.
I feel like we get a
Whole
whole
point?
point because of a handicap.
What?
Like
No, there's no
every question you
handicap.
just
The
get
whole
right.
no, there's no handicap. So the flag, of course, is highly controversial. It received increased criticism, especially within the last few months.
Like how we have Dave's woke quiz
what?
coming in.
What TV show famously had this flag on the
I know,
roof of its
I know,
1969 Dodge Charger? And
Well,
what
now
is the
you
car?
just gave it away.
And what is the car's name?
It's the Dukes of Hazzard.
What
Oh,
you're
sorry.
supposed to answer second?
Dukes of Hazzard, and
Dukes
the
of
car
Hazzard.
is Herbie.
It's Dukes of Hazzard, and the car's name is.
Herbie Lovebug.
It's like I can't remember the name of it. Oh, I almost had it.
Okay, Landon.
Herbie Lovebug, final answer.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
The show is the Dukes of Hazzard,
Mhm.
and the car's name. I actually can't remember the car's name.
It has-
as soon as I hear it, I'm gonna.
I know.
Oh
It
yeah,
has,
yeah,
like,
you all will.
It's
Grease lightning.
it's G something.
Grease Lightning.
Yeah, G something.
Grease Lightning.
Okay, so
Grand.
Bo and Luke, Duke of Hazzard County, aka the Dukes of Hazzard, and their trusty mobile, the General Lee.
Generally,
Named after General Robert E. Lee.
I said
Dang
it.
it.
Generally, I said
that's
it.
half a point for each of us.
Okay. One of the most important aspects of war is knowing who you're fighting. Did these states fight for the Union or the Confederacy? So we have the state of Kansas. Mick and Will. Union or Confederate?
Union.
Okay, yeah, I'll go Union.
Landon?
I'm pretty sure Kansas was Union.
Kansas was Union. Okay. The state of Texas.
I knew it.
Will, Mick, state of Texas.
Oh no.
It depends on if this is like old Texas or new Texas.
During the Civil War, the state of Texas.
It's all really subjective in the end, anyway, right?
Do you want to go Union again?
Here's the thing. Texas is south.
I mean, technically, they're not in the South. They're not considered South.
So I think
I don't know.
I think
Do you want to go
I'm
Confederate?
gonna go Union.
Okay, Union.
It's Confederate.
It's Confederate.
Dang it!
Dang it! I went with the oddball
Okay,
answer.
The state of Virginia. Confederate or Union?
That's a Confederate. Wait, no, that's a Union. That's a Union. Wait, no,
I don't
it's
know
Confederate.
anymore.
Wait, no, it's Union.
Gosh, dang it. Union.
Yeah, Union. That's
Landon?
Union.
Confederate.
Yeah, Virginia's Confederate.
God dang it.
Dude, I don't know. What's wrong with you? This is the thing.
Okay, if Virginia had been a northern state, the war would have been over so sooner because Robert E. Lee would have fought for the North, and the war would have been over probably.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't
Wait,
do
I-
like 15
one
years
more.
of reenactment like you did.
No,
Okay.
I know the only reason Robert E. Lee fought for the South is Virginia went with the South, and Robert E. Lee was considered at the time probably the smartest and best war general around.
Okay.
Of course,
State,
yeah. We all know
state of
that.
Oklahoma. Was it Union or Confederate?
Union. It's been too long without a Confederate.
I don't know. Whatever you say, Will.
Union.
Confederate.
Oklahoma was actually an Indian territory during the war, and it was not a state.
Incorrect answer. Not a
Most
state.
tribes.
Yeah,
But
I
now
got
listen,
you.
though. Most tribes owned slaves. Those sided with the Confederacy. So I think Landon was pretty right, which told that the tribes could obtain Confederate statehood if they won. So they were trying to get statehood. However, not all Oklahoma tribes joined the Confederacy. Some joined the Union. So there was actually an Oklahoma Civil War that happened
question.
during the American Civil War. So
Dang.
it was Civil Warception.
Ooh, cool.
So
Thanks,
good,
Dave. That wasn't
Another
relevant to the
state.
question, but
Another
thanks,
state.
Dave.
Good answer,
Another
Landon.
state?
Okay, no, that's it.
Oh.
Jeopardy question here. Begun just before the Civil War, completed on May 10th, 1869, in Promontory Summit, Utah.
1869?
1869, in Promontory Summit, Utah, under the presidency of General Ulysses S. Grant. So this is after the war. Its construction was considered to be one of the greatest American technological feats of the 19th century.
The Boston Tea Party.
Oh my gosh.
Please no.
Say the question again.
Begun before the Civil War, completed May 10, 1869, in Promontory Summit, Utah. Its construction was considered to be one of the greatest American technological feats of the
I think I know
19th
it.
century.
I'm pretty sure I know it. I'm pretty sure I know it.
Mick Will?
What the heck is in Utah?
There's nothing in Utah.
The Salt Lake.
All right,
Okay, Landon.
I might not know the exact way to phrase it, but it's like the Transcontinental Railroad, right?
Oh, the correct answer is what is the Transcontinental Railroad?
I'm taking a point for that.
No, you're out.
Dave's having too much fun.
Okay, so the president of the Central Pacific Railroad Company of California drove in the final railroad spike named the Last Spike and made of gold. The completion of the Transcontinental Railroad reduced travel from coast to coast from 6 months to only 1 week.
Wow.
What
That's crazy.
does the S stand for in Ulysses S. Grant?
Is this the next question or is this a
Next
bonus?
question.
What does the S stand for?
What does the S stand for in Ulysses S. Grant?
Ulysses
On my
super
planet,
great.
it means hope.
Mick and Will.
I'm gonna go with Samuel or Sam.
Good old Sam.
I don't actually know this one. I'm trying to think. Ulysses.
It's either that or Sasquatch.
Ulysses Sasquatch Grant. That's
I'll go
okay
with Samuel too. That's the only name I can think of. But
Nothing. It's actually only an initial. He was born Hiram Ulysses Grant. When Grant was 17, a New York congressman nominated him for a position at the United States Military Academy, but accidentally nominated him as Ulysses S. Grant of Ohio. He adopted this name at West Point and kept it for the rest of his career. So it's just an initial. It's just S. Could you imagine like someone like giving you the wrong name somewhere and you just like, okay, I guess that's my name now. That's what he did.
I kind of respect it.
Well, with the first name of
Hiram.
whatever you said, I could understand.
Okay, next question. There were 5 border states during the Civil War. Border states were slave states that did not secede from the Union. Can you name those 5 states? Mick and Will.
Texas.
I'll give you a hint. It's none of the states we talked about earlier because those had clear allegiances.
Oklahoma.
That was talked about. We talked about Oklahoma.
Louisiana.
I'm gonna write down. I'm using my phone, but just to type.
Arkansas,
Oregon,
Louisiana,
Washington, Idaho,
Missouri,
Montana,
I don't know.
Delaware, Florida.
Okay, that's enough, Will.
I think our answer is we have no freaking clue.
Okay.
So say the
Landon.
question again. So it's 5 states that
5
didn't pick a
border
side.
states during the Civil War. They were slave states that didn't secede from the Union. So prior to the Civil War, they were, because they were states were either free or slave. These were ones that did not secede from the Union when the Civil War started. So they were called
fought
border
with the Union.
states.
They fought with
Yes,
the Union.
but there was also like the governments were sort of split with their decisions as well. But technically, they did not secede, so they were still part of the Union. So
Okay. I'm gonna say first state North Carolina. I'm gonna say that for 1, and then I'm gonna say, this is like a tough one for me. North Carolina, like really blanking, like Eastern, Middle East, like states.
North Carolina is my final answer.
North Carolina's 1.
South Carolina.
No, South Carolina was no. No, wrong.
East Carolina.
What about West
North Carolina? I'm sorry.
West? I thought you said West.
I can just give you the answers too.
I'm going to say Ohio, North Carolina. I can't. Yeah, I'm blanking on this one.
So these are fairly in a straight line, kind of in the middle. There was Missouri,
Oh, I said
Kentucky,
Missouri. I didn't say
West
Kentucky.
Virginia, because
Said that
West
one.
Virginia was part of its creation was because of the Civil War. It split off from Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. Will
North
said
Carolina?
Delaware, but it was in his long list of things that he was joking about. He said Montana, then Delaware. So I think he was just saying
Nope. Delaware counts. Delaware counts. I said it. I said
North
it.
Carolina.
I said it.
North
I
Carolina
said it.
was
I said it.
was a
I
was
got
a
a point.
North Carolina was a
Woo,
slave
got the
state
point,
that
got the
seceded
point.
from the Union, so they were
Oh,
south.
they were South. Okay.
Yes. So
Let's go.
Maryland,
Point.
Missouri,
Point,
and
Will.
good job, Will. Maryland,
Thank you.
Missouri, and Kentucky, they abolished slavery before the war ended. Delaware and Kentucky abolished slavery later after an amendment to the Constitution was ratified. What was this amendment?
Like what number it was?
Mhm. So Mick and Will.
I stopped listening after you said what.
11.
Yeah, I don't know. 11.
Landon?
I'm trying to think. The 10th Amendment. I'm gonna go 10th.
This was the
That's-
13th Amendment of the
Closest to without going over.
It was passed by the Senate on April 8th, 1864, and by the House on January 31st of 1865, ending slavery in the United States and fixing racism once and for all.
Oh boy.
Okay, before the 13th Amendment, others found ways to help slaves. My second Jeopardy question, so answer in the form of a question. A female former slave turned abolitionist who made multiple rescue missions to bring slaves to the North using the Underground Railroad.
Harriet Tubman.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Who is
Harriet Tubman.
Who is
You
Harriet
guys are
Tubman?
correct. It is Harriet Tubman.
Didn't they just make a movie about that?
Yeah, they did last year.
Yeah.
Due to the nature of her exoduses, she was nicknamed Moses, referencing that guy that Val Kilmer played in a dream.
Because of her beard?
Okay, so other
Also-
movies. There
no, wait,
have
that was
been
Noah.
a lot. There have been a lot of Civil War movies.
Classic mistake.
Classic mistake.
A lot
A lot of Civil War movies. Some great, some not so great. We'll start off with the first. This was a post-war film. This movie follows two Secret Service agents out west tasked to protect then-President Ulysses S. Grant from a former ex-Confederate officer. This movie was nominated for 8 Razzies, winning
Ooh.
5, including Worst Original Song, which was sung by the lead.
Whoa.
That's probably the
I
most
have
important
no
clue
idea.
here. Mick, I think you should be able to get this one.
I don't like how you put that much faith in me.
Blazing Saddles.
What?
What?
This movie, do you want the year it came out?
That would help.
I think it was 1999.
Oh no, that's worse.
That doesn't help because I was thinking earlier.
Oh.
Do you think you know it, Landon?
I think I might. I can't. God dang it! I know what movie this is. I know what movie it is, but I don't know the name. I know what it is. Ah!
Okay, Mick, Will, do you guys have a guess?
I don't. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Landon.
Give me. You gotta have to just bear with me.
Okay, you get
I
a
know- I know
with
who the-
me? Is
I
it
know
a-
who the-
is it
I know
Brother
who-
Bear?
I know who the lead is.
If you say the lead, Mick might know it.
Yeah.
Who's the lead, Landon?
I'm not telling you. No.
Who's
You've
the
already
lead?
passed. You've already passed.
Who's the lead, Landon?
What is the
Val
No, it
Kilmer.
won't help me out.
what
It's
the
fine.
no you know what the heck is the name of this movie?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
Captain America: Civil War.
No. Please let me think. Star Wars.
Mick, I want you to get this one so bad.
I want to get it too.
I know what movie you're talking
Do you need
about.
me to read it again?
Yeah, read it one more time.
Okay, a post-war film. This movie follows
Civil
two
War.
post-Civil War follows two Secret Service
I
agents
know it.
out
Yeah,
west.
I know it.
Okay, what is it?
I know it.
What is it?
know it. I know what it is.
What is it? What is it?
You gotta say it.
It's called Wild Wild West.
Wild
Yeah, I'm
Wild
gonna go
West
Wild Wild West.
Oh no, with Will Smith?
Yeah, Will
with
Smith.
Will
Oh,
Smith and Kevin
no.
Kline.
movie. Great movie.
I'll roll into the Wild Wild West. Wild
Wild
Wild,
Wild
West. When I
West.
stroll into the Wild
That is
Wild
directed by Joel Schumacher. That gives you any.
The late Joel Schumacher.
That yeah.
Right.
Okay, good. Oh goodness, I thought you.
Kenneth
We're not gonna
Branagh
get
is
that
in the movie.
for a while.
Did you know that?
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh
knew
plays Loveless, the ex-Confederate soldier who has no legs.
He drives a giant metal spider.
Yeah, the steampunk spider thing. Okay, next one.
Interesting. Oh, sorry. I thought you. Were
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say interesting fact about that metal spider. In the canned Superman movie that was going to star Nicolas Cage as
yes.
the Man of Steel. That in the original script, that giant spider was going to be in the movie,
What the
and it was going to be a Joel Schumacher movie, and it was scrapped, and he moved that giant metal spider over to Wild Wild West.
You might as well use it if you got it.
Gosh. Okay, next movie.
On my planet, it means hope.
Okay, list ready? Three
I'm going to
Three-
steal the ass off of shit.
adjectived gunslingers in search of a buried cache of Confederate gold during the height of the New Mexico campaign in 1862.
I know what this movie is.
I know what this movie is.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh,
Will?
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Bingo. I know
Landon?
what your guys' answer is.
I think so.
Wait, say it again.
3 adjectived gunslingers in search of a buried cache of Confederate gold during the height of the New Mexico campaign in 1862.
it is the good, the bad, the
All right,
ugly.
the good, bad, and ugly.
It's
I
the
was
good, the
thinking
bad, and the ugly. This film's prolific composer actually died this week. He just died.
Who? Which actor?
No,
The
the composer.
Ennio-
Ennio Morricone?
Yeah, Ennio Morricone.
Oh,
Or,
man.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Yeah, he just died. It was really sad. Okay.
he voiced also. No, he didn't voice. He also composed a lot of other good movies too.
Oh yeah, he's done
Western.
so many movies. In a callback to my quiz from last week, this
Gosh.
film is the highest grossing film domestically when adjusted for inflation and will likely never be usurped.
I hate these adjusted for inflation questions. So stupid.
Gone with the Wind.
That will never be surpassed. Is it? You said domestic?
Domestic adjusted for inflation.
Gone with the Wind.
I guess Gone with
Gone
the
with the
Wind.
Wind.
It's Gone with the Wind.
Yay!
It's the same
Next
question
question,
from last
please.
week. Can we cycle my
Great job,
quiz?
Dave.
Okay. Last movie one. For this last film, I'm going to read an excerpt from the plot section from Wikipedia, blanking out an incriminating piece of information. Confederate President Jefferson Davis convinces Adam to deploy his blanks on the front line. Lincoln orders the confiscation of all silverware in the area and has it melted down to produce silver
I know what this
weapons.
is. I know what this is.
This is so stupid. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Yes, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Wow.
Does anyone else want to guess?
I will guess that as well.
It's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, so you guys were close. So I'll give you that.
Okay, you know that's we knew. Yeah.
I don't know garbage movies, so like
it's a masterpiece.
Okay, okay.
I heard it was better than Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay, so I have 3 more
For
questions.
some reason, he didn't want to reprise his role. And
This next one, I really want to test Landon's knowledge. So this one is multiple choice because it's a little harder.
I do
Where
have a
was the
serious
most?
question. How much more
You
questions?
said
said 3
three, I said
questions.
3.
You said 3 questions.
Okay, I was not listening. Go
Where
ahead.
was the most northern land battle of the war? Caratunk, Maine, St. Albans, Vermont, Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, or Millersburg, Michigan?
Dave, Pittsburgh isn't okay.
Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, or Michigan?
Let's go Vermont. What do you think?
Vermont. Final answer.
Say
I
the
don't
say the cities and states again.
Caratunk, Maine, St. Albans, Vermont, Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, and Millersburg, Michigan.
Whatever one was with Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh one.
Okay, so it's actually St. Albans, Vermont. Mick, you got that one. So St. Albans was raided by 21 Confederate soldiers on October 19th, 1864. I made up all the other ones.
Oh, okay.
There were no battles there. They only killed 1 person and then escaped to Canada. The most northern battle was actually a naval combat between United States Navy ship USS Kearsarge and the Confederate Navy warship the CSS Alabama on June 19th of 1864. In between 2 other sovereign countries. What are those 2 countries? So it was a Confederate ship and a U.S. ship, but it happened in waters in between physically 2 other countries, not the U.S. or Confederate States of America.
Between Canada and Iceland.
I'm gonna say between.
So in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean?
It's just 2 random shit.
I'm gonna say between France and England.
It is France and England. So the Battle of Cherbourg, or also known as the sinking of the CSS Alabama, took place in the English Channel, ending with the Confederate ship sinking, hence the sinking of the CSS Alabama. Okay, so I have one final bonus question, and this is kind of in your own words.
Who won the war?
What does
side
Confederate
would you
mean? As in, what is a confederacy as opposed to a federation? Because we have the Confederate States of America and the United States of America. What does Confederate mean? You guys know?
I'll let them go first, I guess.
I have no idea.
Okay. If I were to make a logical guess, I don't know, probably like the official like definition, but like the United States is more of the whole comes first, and the Confederate States is more of like the states are like more sovereign, like individual, like almost like country type things that are just somewhat loosely allied together.
That's a very good answer. So I'll read
That's
my
what
answer. I'll read my long answer I have here. So to understand a confederacy,
but I clammed up.
to understand a confederacy, it's important to understand a federation first. Federation combines a general government, as in our federal government, with regional governments in a single political system where each level of government supersedes the previous. So think of like at the city level, county, state, up to the federal level. The United States basically developed modern federalism with the ratification of the Constitution, and we still use this.
Oh yeah, we did. America.
We still use this today. So under a Confederate arrangement, like Landon was saying, the central government is relatively weak, subordinate to its member states. The closest thing we have to this today would be like a modern day, would be like the EU, the European Union, though some people kind of argue that it's much more like a federation now than it originally was. So other than the EU, there's actually not any modern day confederations. They are not very common. Historically, confederations will either dissolve, like the one between Serbia and Montenegro. Most will transition into a federation, like Canada, Belgium, or Switzerland did. But sometimes they'll end in a parlor on an April morning in Virginia when one general surrenders to another.
Dude, you're so cheesy.
You got that all timed out, didn't you?
You're so excited.
No, that's all in my mind, Will.
That was what took Dave the longest in making this quiz, was writing this.
How do I get this theatrical? How do I write this theatrical?
You practiced that from a mirror like 48 times.
Brianna, help me practice this.
Dave has a way of talking that just turns into like a classroom lecture.
I think the best thing a quiz can do is it tests your knowledge, but also if you don't know something, you learn.
It educates you.
It shows how
educates
stupid
you.
you
And
are.
then next time, like when you have that question, you know the answer.
Dave,
I think that's what's most
You
important.
should be a teacher.
No, I don't want to be a teacher. I hate kids.
Okay. Okay, well, that is our episode for this week. Unless you guys had anything else to add.
I think I'm ready to wrap it up, Michael.
I'm ready to. Land Dog Millionaire, what do you think?
I just want everybody to have a Keylightful weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, gosh.
stay safe out there, guys. You know, I mean, the world's crazy, you know, and I just think
Well, we're going to have a party at my place.
it's gonna be a Keylightful
Later.
good time. We have 18 left. We have to finish them all today.
Two minimum?
You have to finish them today.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I'll still go bad because the expiration date is like 3 days after.
Okay. Well, thank you all for listening. We will be back next week with
The long Last of Us.
with an-
Last of Us Part 2 spoiler
with another episode of the Hotkeys podcast. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Hotkeys podcast.
Sometimes the podcast ends with one host surrendering to another.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.